Okay.
Yeah, you're just a little too tall. That'll work. Alright.
Yeah, cool. Oh, I guess, yeah, we need that sync them up.
Yeah.
Hi, son. Hi, I'm David.
Hello,
Nice to meet you.
Valeria.
Valeria, yeah?
Yes.
Valeria.
Yeah,
Okay.
or Val.
Val?
Yeah.
That's what he called me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just talk about it. I mean, you've been into K-pop for a while?
Since 2014, my friend introduced first
14.
first introduced me to K-pop with a bunch of EXO, Shinee or Taiban as a solo artist, and definitely BTS. But they're already a year into their debut.
You caught into the regular wave.
Yeah. So like since then, with their Danger era, and then it just progressed from there.
Danger.
Yeah.
And that's before Fire.
Yes.
Way before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Do you have like some questions you want to start off with, or you want to ask questions first? Or?
So what are you like? You're familiar with like the J-pop side of like the Japanese. Are they like idols, or are they like?
You're talking about specifically idols or J-pop idols,
Well,
or you want
that's
to talk
what
about
I'm
the
saying.
difference between K-pop and J-pop?
Pretty much, yeah.
So from what I've understood, like, because I got into K-pop really like a long time ago.
Okay.
Like this is 2000 when I first started.
Yes.
And like K-pop was kind of doing the whole idol cutes thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go look at any of the performances back then, like none of them were very good.
Yeah.
And then they mirrored a lot of like West Coast, like it was either very poppy, like really girly girl stuff, or there was like there's also like a techno dance scene, and then there was like the rapper, like Bad Boy. They would always be like West Side.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically how it started. And there was also the ballads. There was a bunch of like people singing the ballads back then. But
Were they trying to cater to Japanese and Western, or just
back then?
Yeah.
Back then it was just purely
Got it.
Korean. If I remember correctly, so they had this thing called like a 1,000-day, was it 1,000 day celebration? I don't know if they do it anymore now, but like 1,000 days, almost like 3 years,
Yeah.
right? And so they were like, if you had 1,000 days, then you're technically like a successful group.
Okay.
And I think like back then, like an album, if you sold like 10,000 copies, they were like super happy.
Oh yeah.
So they figured it out, like, hey, if we cater this Western market or this more market, like we can get way more people to buy stuff. So the common thing I always see people like arguing about, I guess, or the points that they try to make, like, is that like the idols are such bad performers, and
What do you mean bad performers?
like Japanese idols.
Okay.
Like, because there's J-pop, right? There's straight up J-pop,
Yes.
which is like, I don't know who I would consider now. But back when I first started getting, it was like Koda Kumi or like maybe Utada Hikaru, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But then I got into more like idol stuff. Idols is, it's a weird line, because there's a lot of the following the members just for the member. Like I've actually been to like follow like group people who like groups, and I've went to shows with them, and I'm like, oh, that's an awesome song. What song is that? Like, I don't know. Like, you don't know this name. You go to see this group like 4 or 5 times a week. You don't know the names of any of the songs that they perform. They're just like, nah. And I'm like, really? But they're just like, I'm just here to see my member.
Oh.
And
So they only specifically from like the whole group, they only go for that one member? Or
So I mean, it just depends on some people. Yeah, some people just go for one member.
I mean, that's kind of the same with K-pop too. Whenever they go to concerts and they're bringing like their signs, or bringing out like their outfits that are inspired by the idols themselves.
Yeah.
And so that's I guess one of the few similarities between.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, generally for girls, it's much more like it's lenient, right? Like, she likes the guy, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, there's no problem, right? But when it's a guy, when it's a guy, yeah, people are like, well, why does this guy like this member? Why? It's a little bit creepy. Why is he like so into this member? Right? No.
Are we talking about like fans and idols, or are we talking about idols amongst like other people or other idols?
Fans following certain idols. Right?
Okay, so we're talking about male to male, male to female, female to male, idols. Sorry.
Opposite.
Oh, so opposite genders kind of thing. Okay.
That's the weird one, right?
Yes. It depends, because I'm assuming like for female idols to
Right.
like their male fans, right?
Mhm.
Or is that's okay for like them to be like, you know, or
sorry, are you okay? It's not too warm,
Yeah.
right?
I'm
I'm
fine.
fucking sweating. Like the AC went off and I just started going. It's fine, but
Check all this stuff while you're there.
you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay, cool. So, so we were talking about what's allowed or what's not allowed.
Yes.
Because okay, so here's I remember there was an interview. It's on Graham Norton.
Okay.
It was the new Star Trek movie was coming out. Benedict Cumberbatch was in the new movie.
Mhm.
Chris Pine, and they had two guys sitting on stage. And they're like, "Oh, all your friends have flown halfway across the world to come see you." And they're like, "Oh yeah," and like, "Oh yeah, the fans of Chris Pine are called the Pine Nuts, and
Yes.
the fans of Benedict Cumberbatch are the Cumberbitches."
Yes.
And then the host went in the crowd, started asking everybody in the crowd like,
Yes,
"Oh,
yes, yes.
have you seen this clip?" Okay, and so then you know, Chris Pine, oh yeah, he runs in, he gives them a hug. Thank you so much for coming all this way, and it's seen as like endearing and like, oh look how dedicated fans they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you switched it.
Okay.
And like there was these guys like, oh my god, hey, I came all the way here from Germany to see you.
God.
People are like, dude, what is wrong with this guy?
Okay.
He's weird. Like, what? Does he not
I
have a
see.
life? Does he not have a job? Does he not have stuff? It's weird. It's whenever I saw that, I was like, huh, it's because I know people who have traveled like all over just to follow their member around.
Yeah.
But that you, I don't know. It's not. I'm not like accusing you of having a problem, but you don't.
Well, it just depends on the person.
Well-
Because we're talking about people, like for me.
There's
like,
always
if
unstable people.
Well, I mean, don't get me started with that. Oh my god, unstable people. Like, are we talking about like the extremists?
Yeah. Okay. What's the craziest thing you've done personally, and what's something that makes you uncomfortable that you see? Because
I see
twice
tons of things
just
that
came
make
to
me-
America.
Yes.
And there's people waiting at the airport taking pictures
yes.
of them.
I haven't done it.
For me, that's borderline getting to the point where it's fine. You want to do it? Go ahead. Go once just to see them. It's fun, right? But that's starting. You're getting very close to the line of like that's a little bit too much because they just want to get through the airport and go do their thing, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to have to stop and like
Oh yeah.
put on the face and do all this stuff just for you.
No, yeah. Because there's instances where they're meeting at the airport. Some instances where they even find them in their hotel.
Sure,
Too.
right.
There's.
But that's part of
instances-
celebrity.
Yes, but no. That's
Yeah,
why.
but
that's
it's part
why I
of
put mine
of
up.
celebrity. I remember I interviewed this one guy, Danny Chu. He was
Okay.
really into Kylie Minogue, and she was in Japan. She was somewhere. She was performing somewhere, maybe the UK, because Danny Chu, Jimmy Chu, the shoes.
Yes.
His son
Okay.
is really into like the pop culture stuff, and he actually made his own doll. He's selling his own line of dolls.
Ooh.
And I remember I interviewed him, I talked to him, and he said, oh, one time I was waiting for Kylie Minogue, and she came out of the hotel, and everybody was running after her taxi, but I was smart. I had roller skates on. So I was roller skating down the road, chasing after her taxi. And I was like, that
Wow.
seems like a little bit too much, man. But like at this point, I guess he was more adjusted. He was like, he had become like a regular. He had taught himself Japanese like before the internet and everything. And he had told me he like posted up, it just covered everything in Japanese in his room.
Okay.
But I mean, I just remember him telling me the story, and I was just like, yeah, that's a little bit weird. But then you see him now, and he's kind of more well-adjusted. He had grown out of it, I guess. Maybe like when you're young, I feel like everybody tends to do some crazy thing a little bit.
Some do, not everyone.
Yeah. So.
Not everyone.
No. So that like going back to is like the craziest thing you've done, like
I've done.
just spend a bunch of money.
I mean, usually it's the money aspect of just spending,
Yeah.
but I haven't done anything extreme as to follow them at the airport or.
So
even,
you don't do that. Why?
I like.
There's not part of you who wants to. You don't want to be the person at the camera at the
Yeah.
concert, like shoving the camera, putting up the half heart, and they're like,
Pretty
"Oh,
much.
please, give me
I
the
might
other
do
hand."
that. Honestly, I think I would do that if I had the chance because
Yeah.
there've been instances where when I was at KCON, they had like this.
So
I was Stray Kids.
KCON in LA.
Yes, LA.
What year was this?
So I went both in 2018 and 2019.
Okay.
So 2019 KCON year that I went to, they had like this red carpet-ish, or this area where they had like blocked off. There were some what's it called? The bodyguards,
Right.
like on the lines and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, you see, I believe it was Stray Kids and both ATs.
Uh-huh.
I remember specifically for Stray Kids because they were fairly tall, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so they were passing by, and most of them weren't letting you do that kind of stuff. You can record, but you can't go up to them and like do the heart or grab my hand or high touch or anything because there's specifically stuff for that. You have to purchase tickets.
Yes.
Even if you purchase tickets, you're not guaranteed to get the idol that you want.
Right.
So that's when you like go try. There's even
that.
people waiting outside. Like once you get your tickets or your badges and stuff, and you get your high touches or audience tickets and stuff. There's people outside with like signs that it's like purchasing so and so's this K-pop group and people are willing to pay a lot of money for that. I was like, I can't do that
Because you can't justify spending that much money.
Well,
you've been to a bunch of concerts.
Yes, actually.
So the most you paid for tickets.
For tickets, oh, man, I think it was around 300.
Okay.
That was floor tickets.
300's not that.
That was
but
floor
that's
tickets.
floor.
Yeah.
For who?
For Blackpink.
Okay, so,
But
that was also probably a while ago.
No, this was recently.
Oh, really?
Last year.
$300? That seems fairly cheap.
Fair, yes, but the whole process was like not worth it in my because whenever I went to
Blackpink.
Dallas. Well,
Because
it wasn't even Blackpink. It was the people who were putting everything together. And so technically.
That's one of the worst parts about when they come to America.
Yeah.
Because
But I don't even know because I think it was I don't know if it's people that like another company from like Korea that they send here or they get someone local where they're like, okay, you're gonna be the ones in charge of putting stuff together. So for VIP, depending which tier you get all the free goodies and stuff. I ended up getting I think like a bandana, like a pink bandana.
Yeah.
I wish it was Blackpink, but it was like pink. But okay. I think it did have the logo though.
It's pretty.
And then we were just waiting in line outside. Luckily the weather was okay and there was a lot of shade, but we were just waiting in line. We were waiting to go in, because you get to like experience it before the actual show.
Mm-hmm.
So we were waiting. They only did like maybe about 2 songs, and they like already left to get ready. And I was like,
this was outside the venue.
So we were waiting outside, but once we got inside, we were. I thought we were expecting to see them for a few more times.
That's okay. So you're talking about as far as them coming to the States.
Yes.
Yeah, that always. It's worth it to see them when they come here because you get closer.
Yeah.
But it's not because it's usually poorly run. Always, Dreamcatcher came to Houston. That's the first like real K-pop thing that I've experienced since. I never went to anything back when I first got into K-pop. It's like I wasn't going to Korea at the time. So.
Yeah.
But now they're all coming here, and
yeah.
Dreamcatcher was in Houston. It was.
Was it at that one con?
Yeah, that one con exactly. And I was there for the Japanese group.
Yeah. They get.
But it was so funny. They're like VIP $200, and they gave you like a little like wrist strap, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I still have I still have the shirt. I bought a shirt. It was like $60. Okay. And they actually spelled the name of the producer wrong.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's so funny. I still have the shirt. I kind of wanted to sell it, but I was like, I didn't even want to do that to somebody. Sell them the shirt that says.
They're probably gonna think it's not even legit because it's.
Yeah, exactly. it's one of those weird like kind of athletic material.
Oh.
It's not like a real shirt. It's like
it's like polyester kind of.
Yeah, it's weird. One of those.
Is it like a basketball jersey kind of?
Kind of. Okay. But it's not great. But you just kind of get. Yeah, that's expected kind of, especially with idols and stuff.
Did you get the light stick for Dreamcatcher? No. Because I went to go see A-Pink at that same con that Dreamcatcher went, and
that's right.
A-Pink, their light stick is like a pink panda. It's adorable, and I'm like, every time I try to go to a concert, my goal is to get like a light stick, with the exception of KCON because they have so many idols, and not everyone's selling the
light stick.
The light stick, so. I mean, KCON has their own light stick, so I'll get that forever. So y'all are getting the same.
Because I remember when I was into that. I remember when I first went to Japan, I bought a light stick.
Do they have light sticks for idols or?
Yeah. It's the King Blades. They used to be the King Blades. Now they have different. They have ones with different colors. They have ones where you can program it on your phone with the colors.
Yeah, the Bluetooth, right?
Yeah, but back then it wasn't. It was just like 5 colors at the most, I think. And then they just start more and more. It was like $30 each.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, but you want the branded one. You want the one that says whatever group on it.
Oh, okay. So
those were
the ones back then were generic?
Yeah, those were that. I don't know if they were that's originally what it was. Is that company King Blade made it, and then they had King Blade 1 and King Blade 2 and King Blade, and everybody who was a fan went to Japan to go buy those, and I had one, and yeah, I just had friends who would lose them in concerts because they'd be like,
Yeah.
and then bounced around. So for me, when I go to Japan, I go to these concerts. I try to go to the real crazy ones where like people are jumping around and like
Okay.
like it.
That
Yeah,
sounds fun.
yeah, it's great in Japan, but you can't get that
Is
experience
everything
here.
floor level, or are they also like?
No, these are like shows with like 30, 50 people.
Oh,
That's
I'm
also-
over here like thinking like small
No,
venues.
no, this is like super like
Okay.
these are like it's called indie idols.
Okay.
It's like not even idols. It's like they actually call it in Japanese it's like train, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like subway, which is like if you write it in kanji, it's underground train.
Okay.
So it's like idols and then like underground idols. It's like literally
Okay.
like these are the ones where you can go and like handshake and talk to a bunch of times,
Yeah.
take pictures with, and then like.
Do they ever make it to the other
So
side?
see, that's the thing. Sometimes they do, like some do. It depends. There's one group that I followed really really closely, and one of the girls in that group now, or there's like a handful, like 4 or 5 girls that I followed from those small ones, and it's never with the group that they're in initially,
Okay.
because those are all like small management. They don't have the management power to
Yeah.
get there. So eventually they'll be in that group for a little bit. They'll either the group will break up or they'll graduate and leave, and then they'll get from their
Will they get scouted?
yeah, from their other experience, oh, you were in this group, okay, cool, and then they'll pluck them out and
Okay.
they'll get folded into some big group that is on the way up or something like that, which is, I mean, yeah, that's not how it is in K-pop, right? The K-pop is not like that.
You
K-pop
have to
is
train.
right.
You have to get into the entertainment.
You do all that stuff, you get ready.
Yes.
Do you ever watch the Produce one, the 48 one?
Well, there's like multiple
But
like produced.
did you see the one?
So the female or the male one? Because I had a female.
It was specifically the one where they had a bunch of AKB members come over. And it was the one where, they were performing, and there was like, the AKB members were like, everyone was laughing at them, like, oh, dude, they suck so bad, they can't dance, they can't do anything. But then later on, they had years of like experience performing. So like, when they made a mistake during a performance, they're just, whatever, and they just kept going with it.
Yeah.
So, you haven't seen that one?
There's a few.
That's how like Eyes One
Yes.
got
Eyes One.
put together?
I'm very bad with some of those names because there's that one that you're
The
talking
group
about. There's
names?
IOI. That was also. Some of
Oh,
them.
IOI, that's the
IOI. Yes,
right?
that one. And then I'm trying to think. There's a one. There was a male one. I'm trying to think the name. They did. There was a popular member there. King. He went by King. His first name is like. Coming out right now, but I'm trying to think of the. It's like right there. That's in my tongue, and I just don't remember. Damn. Okay, but there's that one male, and I don't know if that's the one that you're talking about. Yeah, but there's a few. I was mostly into the female ones than the male ones, kind of thing. I'm trying to think if 1 to 9 was also part of like that elimination idol program. Those were horrible. They would make them go through all this.
Okay.
Because even Stray Kids also went through something similar
But
like that.
But that's okay, right? Like Americans see that as bullying or like bad, but you ever watch the movie Whiplash?
No.
The one with the drumming where Miles Teller gets like harassed by his.
Oh yes, okay.
Yeah.
I've seen part of it. Yeah.
I mean, that's arguably like the argument. I don't know what the actual moral of the story is, but like I feel like that's kind of how my parents. They were always putting me through stuff like that to like toughen me up, and
Yeah.
like my dad would screw with me. So like when I used to play tennis with him, he would screw with me all the time. Like in the middle of the match, like, oh, if you don't beat me by this score or whatever, then I win, and you have to run home or whatever.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was always like that.
Ooh.
So I don't know. I think culturally, I mean, in America, they're just this scene is different.
Because BTS ended up doing, it's called American Hustle, where they were sending all the members, and this was like around their pre-debut, or not pre-debut, like once they debuted, maybe a year or two after they debuted it, maybe. They got sent to America to like experience like, I guess, the culture and maybe like meet people there, and but it was such a shock. And the first thing they did whenever they got there, they got into a van, and then these random guys came in and were kind of like bullying them, but also kind of like, we're kidnapping you.
Right.
And they took them to the place where they were going to stay at, and they were like kind of yelling at them. It's like, all right, sit down, and they were kind of going at them, yelling at them, telling them all these things. The youngest one, being Jungkook, was like tearing himself up because it was just too much. And I'm like, that was even a shock for me, because this is coming from America. Like, you don't treat people like that, especially foreigners who are like, first of all, don't even speak the English language that well, with the exception of
you don't find that stuff funny?
No,
because that stuff
was horrible.
They
you need to watch it.
Japanese. Well, yeah, I have no frame of reference,
horrible.
but like Japanese idol, like these idol shows, they're always picking on these girls. Like,
well, I mean, they get picked on over there too
Yeah.
in Korea. Like Weekly Idol, before the two I cannot think of the two hosts that ended up leaving, doing their own another like idol stuff channel thing, but they would like torment the idols really bad. Yeah, I'm assuming it's like for both Korea and Japan. They would get tormented very bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Japan has some weird prank shows. They do really, really weird prank stuff already. So I don't know. Sometimes it's mean spirited, but I don't know. I think maybe the girls know that it's all in fun, like for fun, or they just know. The thing is, there's part of me that thinks that it's all scripted. Because I've seen like scripts come out where they're like, oh, I was going over the script for the next week's taping and blah blah blah. So it's like, oh well, maybe they already know all this stuff that's coming out.
I mean, it also depends, because you also want to get that genuine reaction. So
Yeah,
you might not even know everything.
But I think the thing is, that's why you end up cheering for them, right? It's because you like, oh, that's mean. Oh, okay, I want to cheer. I want to spend more money and make them feel better, or like,
I mean, if
show
it
them
works
support
that way, yeah.
Well, because I'm very curious as to how much of this is all planned out. Like, because there's certain things in Japanese, well, in the entertainment industry in general, but like with idols, like you don't know how much of it is. So like, I'm sure you've heard of like the whole dating thing. Like, oh, Japanese idols not allowed to date. They're not allowed to have
I mean,
boyfriends.
same thing with.
Yeah, but they do. They're all the Korean
Some
idols.
of them are very open about who they're dating.
Right.
Some people like
they
don't even get a choice.
But you can understand why it's better like to keep it quiet, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Well, that's not personal
they have
stuff that
an
we want.
image of like being single, that
Yeah.
their hearts belong to the fans kind of thing.
Yeah,
which is like, but if they have someone that they're dating, now it's like, now you're not gonna give us love, you're not gonna give us attention, now you're gonna be with this other person, and so that's the way they think. That's why a lot of companies don't allow it.
Yeah, but that's part of it. But it's also like, it's just the like, you don't want all that ugliness coming out, right? Like a breakups, or because you're gonna have problems in relationships. Like I promise you, like AKB48, they had 48 members, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had like 100 and something at one point.
Oh my goodness.
Because they had like all the different 48 groups.
Okay.
Like I guarantee, like all those girls did not get along. There are certain ones that didn't like each other, or they had little cliques. But you almost didn't hear any. Like you almost didn't hear anything about it. I'm sure it was happening, but like it's up to management to kind of manage it. And like, you got a problem with this person, like, I don't know, ignore it, or maybe they like sat them down in a room and like made them work it out. I don't know, but you did hear about some stuff. But overall, it was like, it's better if that stuff doesn't come out, because it just looks bad on the group, right?
Yes and no, because sometimes it ends up coming out anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
Especially with some of the idols in the K-pop industry, a lot of them and a lot of groups, certain members were picked on, especially specifically for like bullying someone back in middle school, high school, and then they're taking like the repercussions, and sometimes it ends up being like false, or like
some of that stuff you're talking about, like so it's a group that sang Roly Poly, Tiara, and then the other one was AOA.
Yes, AOA was another one with Jimin.
But then later on, it came out, it's like, oh, she didn't really bully her.
Yeah,
right?
but
the group was like ruined at that point.
Yeah.
So it's they're all human stuff, right?
One of the newer groups, they had to remove a member from one of the newer groups too, because there were like all this stuff was coming out.
It just reminds me of my mom. Like when I was in high school and growing up in college, my mom was like, "Oh, Davey, you have to date Chinese girls. You can't date outside Chinese." And I'm like, say no white, no black, no Mexican. I was like, okay, well then Asian's okay, right? She's like, no Vietnamese, no Korean. And I was like, why? What's wrong with Korean? Because I was really into Korean music at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, why? Why no Korean? She's like, oh, the girls, they just want to fight. They just want to fight and they drink all the time. So no Korean. That was like the stereotype my mom gave me when I was like in college. And
I mean, there's still kind of some of that going around still.
Well,
With Korea, there's still.
Is it true? Is it a stereotype? Some of it's kind of
mean,
real.
A lot of videos that I keep like looking about the culture in Korea, they're like the drinking culture over there is so strong.
Yeah.
But so is Japanese, especially in the work part of like the Japanese. I'm assuming it's probably similar in Korea too, but for Korea it's more social.
Right.
But in the Japanese, for me, I've heard that it's more like in the work industry that the.
I mean, there's certain
like
things.
Really big.
Yeah, there's certain things that they have to participate in with work.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
25 minutes.
Wow, it goes by quick.
Do you want to ask about the NCT?
NCT.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that was the boy band
Kind
group.
of like AKB.
So there's like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember how many. I don't know. There's like 20 or 22 members in there, and they were adding more.
This is a Korean group, right? No.
Yes, it's a Korean group, and most of them are split up into smaller units. But there's NCT as a whole, and sometimes they'll get them all together and like basically do a remix of like.
This
all
is
the
what
songs.
company doing this?
SM.
SM.
SM's super like notorious about their subunits too.
Yeah, SM.
But
So what generally? Sorry, I'm going to change the subject, but SM is not seen as a good company right now, right? Still, overall, there's like not a great.
I feel like a lot of them are, but
very,
SM being one of them.
Darth Vader, like kind of.
Well, yeah, because I want to say it is SM that like to, as people would say, bring people down to the dungeon, meaning they're not going to be used anymore. Kind of.
But
there's a lot of that going on.
It's been like that forever, right?
Oh yeah.
Because the group I was into HOT, like they were under SM, and then they're like. 2 of the members they wanted to keep, and the 3 other members like they couldn't work out the contract negotiations, so they went and formed their own group. It was like called JTL.
Okay.
So the 2 of them got retained, and the other 3 went off. And then like 5, 6, 10 years later, it happened again with what's it called?
T-Rex Cube?
Yeah. So that same
I don't
thing.
know how you like.
I was about to say TV. I got scared.
Yes.
So the two were in,
Yes.
and then 3 of them went off and did their own thing, and then I don't know. People just it's.
Well, some of them got themselves into legal trouble too, so. I can't remember which member it was, but I was like, I'm not gonna worry about you. I don't want to give you any more attention than
the thing about it is with every one of these, like, I feel like all these potential K-pop stars or talents, they all are willing to like sell their soul and like, oh, I want to be famous.
Yeah.
And then once they get famous, then they have more negotiating power, and then they want to change it around.
Depends.
And say, hey, like, let me get more.
I mean, I feel like some of those contracts are very like tight bind.
Mm-hmm.
Like you try to negotiate, and sometimes it doesn't end up working out
No,
at
sure.
all. And
Absolutely.
then trying to break contract is even worse.
Sure.
Than like if not probably just as bad because you're either stuck with it.
Yeah.
But if you break it, you probably just either be in debt because you're going to be owing a lot of money because they put money into you, so now you have to owe that back. All this other stuff.
So this is an interesting thing to talk about then, because there's a lot of complaints within the indie idol industry, because they're always like, these are like kids, they're like 17, 18-year-olds.
Okay.
They don't know what they're getting into. They're signing these contracts for like 3 to 5 years, and it's not fair because they're not getting paid and they can't get out of it. But so the reason why it's interesting, I feel a specific way about it is because I manage like restaurants, right? So like in a restaurant, I'll hire somebody and they'll come work, and maybe they'll be good, maybe they won't. Maybe I'll train them. It takes a week or so. Okay, and then they're like, deuces, and they just leave.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But like, there's no safeguard for that as far as from the management side of like, these kids will be like, yeah, I want to be an idol, I want to grow, I want to sing and dance, and then they come and they don't like it, and they're like, I want to leave.
Yeah.
And you've put all the money and time into that, so like it's not whether it's right or not. I can understand like why they're trying to safeguard their own like resources and not like So I mean, you don't have a particular like affinity for like, oh, like that's not right, or like,
I mean, again, it has to do with those contracts, and especially what you're signed into, because a lot of people are like, I want to be an idol. They don't know the hard work that it takes to be an idol. And
absolutely.
then you don't even, like, whenever you're taken in by these companies, it's not an automatic that you're going to be put into a group immediately.
Right.
It takes years.
Sure.
Some take even months because they're like, okay, this person's gonna appeal either like their looks or their dance moves or their vocals, and that's why there's some groups have like strong points, like this person is the leader, this person also is the lead vocalist, versus this other person who's like lead rapper, then you got the other lead dancer, but all of those other sorts of things. But then we also talk about how like, I'm trying to think if there's like certain groups that have like all well-rounded, like there's no one person over the other, but you still have them kind of assigned to a certain role or anything. I know for Blackpink they don't have a leader within themselves, but they do each have like their own personal, like, okay, this member being like the lead vocalist, this person being the lead visual even. Yeah, there's just yeah. It's just,
that's okay.
it is.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with it either.
But then you also got the fans where it's like, oh, well, now this person is just all visual. They don't know how to sing. Like, Twice got a lot of crap, like, when they were, performing in their early years because they were like, they don't know how to sing, they don't know how to dance. And it's just like, where are y'all finding... Like, whenever they try to sing live, it's, like, really bad or whatnot. But it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, are we seeing the same group or... I don't know, but there's instances like that, and especially with a group that big too. You still, I mean, you're not gonna please everyone, kind of thing too. So that also kind of plays into it.
So that's one thing that's a focus. Well, I have, it's a theory, right? I have so people argue about they try to argue about stuff that's tangible, right? Like whether they're a good singer or a good dancer or if they're talented, because otherwise it's hard to quantify like a group. But I mean, ultimately, it's all kind of subjective, anyways, right? Because that's something that we hear a lot in Idol. It's like, oh, look, they can't dance, they can't sing. I don't understand why. I don't understand why these people would be fans of them. Oh, it must be because they're perverts and they're just like young girls. That's where usually it defaults to, because they can't figure out why somebody would like this singer. Yeah. Right. But I don't know. It's funny because I took my mom to go see an idol group once.
Which one?
I took her to see Come and Joshiek.
Okay.
It was like it's an kind of an indie group, but they're all wearing masks and stuff. And my mom like was watching them sing, and she was like, David, they're not very good singers. Like, and then it didn't dawn on me until that point when I took my mom, like why people have such a hard time. Because when you go see like a band, let's say you go see a band, right? Like there's a lead singer and he's usually got some sort of stage presence, or maybe he's a good singer. Like there's a main guitarist, and then when he goes into a solo, you're like, oh wow, he's doing a solo, or like the drummer is doing the drums, and people are familiar with that because they know where the talent. They might not play drums or they might not play guitar, but they're like, okay, this is the part where I'm supposed to be like, wow, woo, yeah. But like with the idol thing, there's no moment with that. Like I've been to shows where people walking by and there's these girls like flopping around on stage, not really dancing really well, not singing very well, and people they're confused because they don't know like what am I supposed to like about this, and then but like I really
what did you like about this group
about the common joke? So I'm a little bit different because the two main things that it is that one, I kind of just like going. So when I was in high school, I never understood. All my friends were going to concerts. They were always going to concerts. Like I love going to see it, and I was the guy who was like, wait, I can just listen on a CD. Yeah. And it's the perfect version. It's like like the highest quality, the one that they did it right in the studio. Like you go to I never understood the live aspect of it, of them like doing things differently. I was like, I don't want them to change up the solo. I didn't want any of that stuff, so it didn't make sense to me for it to sound like I didn't like the live quality of all of it. But so I got really into the live aspect because in Japan the live culture is very so they'll have what's called a taiban, which is like 20 groups in one night. Or they'll start like on a Saturday, they'll start like 11 a.m. And then everyone gets like a 20-minute slot.
Wow.
So it's like 20 minutes, 20 minutes. And so most fans will be like, oh, my group performs at 2? Okay, I'll show up at like 1:45.
Sounds like ACL or something.
Yeah, well, they'll show up for their group,
Yeah.
see the 20-minute set,
Yeah.
then go do the merchandise stuff, and then they'll bolt.
Yeah.
But like me and like some of my really close friends, we'll go at like 11 o'clock in the morning, and we'll just stay the whole day. So we just see all the groups, and like among the fans, they'll like, dude, that's dirty. You have no loyalty. You just go in and see all these girls. They call it a DD. Like DD is like you'll love anybody. You'll just love anybody.
Okay.
And so like for me, it's great because I want to go see the lives. And what'll happen during that stuff is like people will show up and then they'll be like, oh, this is my group, and they'll push up to the front, and everyone will just kind of like let them to the. He's like, oh, this is my group. This is the group you came for? Yeah, sure. And they'll go up to the front. They'll get prime spot for that. And then when their group's over, they're like, oh, thanks a lot. Sorry, bye. And then they'll all just leave. So there's no like that's what's so great about these little shows when there's no fighting. As the group gets bigger, as there's more like exclusivity and it's harder to see them, then everybody just starts. Yeah. Like I've seen idol groups get bigger and bigger, and their fans are like, there's ones that show up to the front, and they're like, it's called line management, and they'll try to like block everybody out so nobody else can be in the front. It's terrible. But yeah, that's what ends up happening, and so the two things is like. I just kind of like going to the live shows and just being around with the people and jumping around, and like I can just see any group. Like whereas some idol fans will just find one group they like, one member. And there's actually like I know a few people who are like, I like this member. I will not talk to any other girls. Like I won't talk to any other girls from other groups. I won't talk to any other girls within that group. This is my girl, and I'm only supporting her. And like I've gotten fights with people like that about it, where they're like. David, you're doing it wrong. You shouldn't be doing it that way. And I'm like, dude.
There's no right way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with them doing it that way. I can understand why, but that's I don't know. It's just not the way I.
Are there terminology in like that J-pop like idol scene?
As far as
like whenever you're specifically like focusing
well
all your
it's loosely people will call it an oshi.
An oshi?
Yeah, I think you told Mike about like the anime like.
Oshinoko?
Yeah, I think that's the word oshi is like my favorite person, but yeah, but
because in the K-pop like side, it's like you're biased.
Yeah, or they do the stand stuff, right?
Yeah, so and then you got your ultimate bias, so you're like standing a lot of groups.
No, I mean the funny thing is there's so many similarities, but like people, they just. I remember I went to this. This was when AKB was like really popular. I went to this. I was in the Anime Expo, and there was this girl giving a talk about K-pop, and she was all she was doing was playing all the popular stuff. She's like, "Oh, this is one of the most influential songs." Bam, 4 minute, and then she was like, "Play a 4-minute song," and everyone was like, "Oh my god, the greatest!" And I was like, "Okay, but what? Like, tell me more information."
I see.
But yeah, and then at the end she took a shot. I remember me and my idol friends were there watching it, and she took a shot like, at least we're not like that AKB group, and everyone was like, yeah, and the three of us like, boo! But yeah, I always wanted to talk to her, but I don't remember. Maybe she's still doing YouTube stuff, or maybe not. I don't know.
Have you tried looking her up?
I wouldn't even remember the name. I could probably figure out what year. It had to be like 2010 maybe. Oh wow. So but she's probably not there anymore. But what was the point of this talk?
What you liked about that group that you took your mom to?
Oh, what did I like about them?
Like because, like you said, your mom was like, "What's so special about this?" But you went
to
take
the thing. It's really hard because for me, okay, again for me,
for you, yes,
it's the live aspect of it, and I don't think you can experience it. I've been trying to get Mike to go. Like my dream is to take him to a show in Japan. You have to go to the right one. Like
take me.
No. That's the thing. I have this open. I have gotten so many people into idols like over the course of the last however many years, and like I have this open door policy. Like, if you want to go to a show in Japan, like, there's people who have never been to Japan and like, hey, David, I'm going. And I'm like, when are you going? Okay, sure, I'll meet you there. And I'll just go and like, because the thing about these shows is like, the language barrier is language and culture barrier is the biggest thing already. Like, you wouldn't even know where to go because it's always some like hole in the wall thing. You show up and they don't speak English. And they're like, do you have a ticket? And you're like, no. And like, you can always get in, but if you don't know how to ask, it's super daunting, and I think that's what stops a lot of people from getting in further.
Are there also, again, like this isn't really specifically to Japan because it also happens in Korea. There aren't any places where it's specifically just for locals, like no foreigners allowed kind of thing. Because I know that exists.
Not for I don't think for
right?
idols. I think for idols they just want money. So if you
Okay.
want to come and pay money, as long as you're not acting.
Yeah.
So actually the thing that when you asked me about why I brought my mom to that specific show is because that was the most accessible.
Okay.
It was like in Akihabara they have show like the indie idols, they have shows like, hey, we're in Shibuya today. Hey, tomorrow we're in Tokyo State. They're all over the place, and and a lot of times they don't even tell you when their show is till like 24 hours before.
That was probably gonna be like the day of.
Yeah, it's like no, I mean it's literally there's times like that. But this group that I took my mom to is like they have their own place, and they're like, look, we perform twice a day, so it's like every day at 5:30 when everyone gets off work, and then we have a late show at 7:15, and like every day, and then on the weekends we have like longer shows, like 2-hour shows. And I was like, okay, well I just take my mom. It's like an hour and 15 minutes. Worst case if she doesn't like it, but it's an hour and it's over. And like it's kind of like the biggest production you can. They're like the biggest production like you could get where it was still small. Like at the end of the show, the fans will actually have like certain rules for the fans. So there's 3 fans. Well, there's a bunch of fans, and they'll organize like, hey, who's going to be there to carry the boat that day, and they'll organize it among themselves.
Oh, wow.
So at the end of the show, there's this like one number where they're like singing, and then like the one member they'll bring out this big like inflatable raft. And the member will jump on the raft, and the fans will carry it on their heads,
Is awesome.
like through the crowd.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they do that for like so like at the theater. But if they go somewhere else, they like they organize among
you can't
themselves.
do that in Korea.
Yeah,
Even here in the U.S.
They organize it. They're like, hey,
They'll be like, all right, we're
who's gonna be
taking you
there?
home.
No, that's the thing. I mean, it's very Japan. As weird as it is, they're super respectful of the rules.
Yeah.
So like,
They are.
I've been on elevators where like it's a bunch of fans and some idol gets on the elevator because she's trying to go to whatever floor, and like nobody. Japanese fans don't. I mean, they'll just like, and then when the elevator gets to the floor, the girl will, like thank you, and then she'll leave, and everybody will
That
just.
is awesome.
Yeah, it's super great.
That is awesome.
There's been shows where like like after the show we're just hanging out outside, and the idol will come out of the place, and she's in her street clothes now, and then she just like disappears into the dark of the night. And and I've asked friends like, is she okay? Like she's just walking down the street by herself. Like you're not worried about that? She's like, David, this is Japan. What's going to happen? And like, so like it's crazy because like the stuff that gets reported on is always like the crazy stuff. There's that one idol who got stabbed by a fan like 20 times. And it's like, and she survived, but she's like, I've had trauma from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy's in jail, and
For how long though?
For a while. I mean, at least 8 years.
It's not enough.
10 years maybe. I don't know. He's crazy too, though. But the thing about it is, here's one thing that it generally all this stuff kind of gets policed by like fans, because when you go when there's only like 20, 30, 50 people at a show. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
And anybody, and like Japan is a very like social society where like if one guy's acting out, like everybody will just shun the hell out of him.
Good.
And then they'll like if you show up, everybody will be like, what are you doing here? You're not, if you don't want to act, So that happens a lot, and I've known some American fans who like have moved to Japan, and they got really into it's weird. It's a really really like. There's a really fine line, and so there can be the argument made like, why do you need to be able to walk the line, Because like I had a friend from America who went to Japan and started following this group, and like it's different when I go. Like I'm on vacation, I see maybe some like a my idol like 5 times during a 2-3 week trip maybe, and then I'm gone. So like but like these are people who like moved to Japan, who go like 5 or 6 times a week, like meeting an idol on a daily basis, and then eventually you kind of run out of things to say, and then also it becomes more of like, well, I didn't get the same interaction that I got yesterday or last week. Like, is she mad at me? Like, and you're trying like because it happens in K-pop too. You're always trying to like up the interaction, right?
Yeah.
Like today you get a handshake, tomorrow you get a hey, how are you? Or hey, I love you. Okay, but then like there's within us humans to want more and more.
But I think for K-pop it's a lot more difficult because it's
Because the groups are so big.
Yeah, because they have such a large following, and so you don't get those small certain. The only way you would get them is whenever you bring your own signs,
or
you get the.
Or you go to the airport and wait for them at the airport.
Well, even at the airport, they don't really pay attention because they have all the bodyguards and they're just moving. They're shifting. They don't like. There's few instances where they're like, "Hi, hello," or they'll like right in front of the airport and they're like, you know, posing for the photographers and stuff. But I think that might be in Korea. I don't know if they do it here in the U.S. whenever they land, but most of them just go from plane to the car and then to wherever they're going.
I saw a picture of Jiho at immigration.
Oh, really?
And somebody was like, "Oh, look at," and she's just like in line waiting at immigration, and somebody's gonna snap a picture of her. I don't know if that was from when they came this last time, but I saw it on the internet like a couple days ago. So the thing is, ultimately, everybody's gonna try to. Well, we could talk about the whole K-pop concert thing because that's a completely different thing now too. Like, how many concerts do you think you've been to?
Well, 2018 I went to a few.
Okay. But the thing is, K-pop really didn't start catching on until it's been getting bigger and bigger, but not really to the point.
It depends because when Psy blew up with his few songs, but it didn't really capture the whole K-pop aspect. There's like Psy and his song, and then I think once like Big Bang would get a few you know, people to get into K-pop. And then I think for sure, at least for me, because I guess I've known BTS since before they got big, and they just got big, and all these other groups started getting big too. And so, like again, there's like certain groups that probably paved the way, or
but paved the way. But KCON, you know what the first year of KCON was? Like when it was big to the point where it's like, hey, we could have a convention in America and these groups will come.
Well, I wouldn't know because I'm assuming they started in Korea and then they probably moved it to the US and then they moved it to other places too, but they don't have them every year like the US does. Yeah. They'll have them in certain Asias. I remember they had one in Mexico too where BTS went. And they were kind of getting pretty big at that point too, but they never made it in Mexico again. So, and then same thing with,
Mexico's hard to have a concert in.
Oh yeah.
I've been to a couple Idol concerts in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah, and it's great. Like my groups are never big enough, so it's always like some like not stadium, like everyone's standing and it's flat. Yeah, and they go ole 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 ole.
That's awesome. But now, like in I think this year, I don't think they had it in any other place because they would have one in May in the U.S. and then they'll have one in August. Yeah. So there's the one that's coming out in August and they already announced all these groups and like even like certain subgroups too that are going to be there from like the original group. Yeah. But they have to make subgroups because most of them are already in the military and so you have to do what you have. Yeah. So that's why for like BTS, a lot of them are putting solo albums before they go to the military, and then some of them go into world tours on their own. Like Suga just came back from his Odyssey, or maybe he's still doing it, but yeah. There's just.
Is that how you say it? Suga?
Suga.
Like sugar, but Suga?
Yeah.
Is that how you're supposed to say it?
Suga.
I mean, I've been saying it wrong the whole time.
Don't worry, because I say a lot of them the wrong ones too.
That's funny. No, but I don't. So my question, my curiosity is, I wonder how it was before because, like, I remember
I wasn't like big on it before, so I wouldn't know before.
I think I mentioned this to you before, but about like Dreamcatcher, because I went to the Dreamcatcher show and I realized like how it was kind of.
I feel like that's different because it was in a con versus like in an anime con.
But you don't think these live concerts are? It's about the like. It's about. Like, what do you think for most people going to these, if you pay for the premium seats, you want the premium interaction, right? Like you want them to like
VIP or
close enough to where like you see it on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram all the time where it's like some member is like blowing a kiss at you or giving it hard or like picking up your phone and taking a video of themselves.
Yes.
Like that is the like pinnacle like interaction, right? That's what if people can get that interaction, that's what they want. That's why they pay the money to do it, right?
Yes, but it's also about getting the ticket with whatever it's available to, because those get taken up really quick.
No, sure.
And you're, you don't get that experience.
But that's ultimately, I feel like that's ultimately what everybody would want to shoot for, right? Like if they had unlimited money, or if money was an issue, then that's what they would go for, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't like versus sitting up there and being down there.
Yes, but let's say you do have the money, or money isn't an issue. It's
Right.
about getting the tickets too, because
Sure.
again, they just get taken up. Some of them are taken up by scalpers, which ended up
Yeah.
like, you know, selling them for God knows how much money. I remember I saw one that was pretty close by,
Yeah.
like, you know, to the stage
Sure.
where they're like selling it for like 10 grand
Right.
just for one ticket.
But for the interaction, that's basically what they're selling, right? The
But it
interaction.
depends, because there are some like tickets for interactions,
Right.
like high touches, or you
Yeah.
like pass by the idols and you're like wait
So-
by
so
them,
how-
and then you get the other ones during the concert. Sorry, you get the other ones during the concert, but
Well,
so
how-
those are two different interactions.
How easy obtainable? How obtainable is a high touch?
Not that.
So I can't high touch twice.
Probably not.
I
Unless
can't.
you,
I can't
unless you
high
get,
touch Blackpink.
No,
No matter how much money I have.
no.
There's not like a hey for sure.
Unless they have it available.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
through VIP.
How often is it available?
It depends on the concert. Some concerts don't even have
I-
those
I-
options.
yeah.
So they'll be like the
Not in
the
America,
closest
right?
thing-
America. I mean, I'm
It
assuming that the
depends.
group is too big.
It depends.
Really?
Yeah, it depends, because for Blackpink, again, the high tier VIP, I don't know if they were able to like go. I know they took a picture in front of like the Blackpink sign, but Blackpink wasn't there.
Right.
And for Mamamoo, if you got a certain VIP ticket
Yeah.
or anything, you were
I
able to
can't.
take
I
a
can't believe.
picture with
Did
them.
you go to Mama? I missed
No,
it.
it was on a week on a weekday, and
No,
I
no,
was
no.
like,
I missed it. I had one of my friends posted a picture of her at the Mamamoo concert. I was like, oh, cool. Where's that? Where's that? She was like, it's in Dallas. I was like, when? She's like, yesterday. I was like, what?
It was on a Wednesday.
Yeah, I would have gone to Dallas for a
Yeah.
Mamamoo. I didn't realize. Like, I was just like, oh, they're probably gonna come. You know, I thought she was somewhere else.
You like Mama Moo.
Well, I mean, I'll go. I'm interested in going. Like again, I just go to concerts to go to shows to, like what.
Now for KCON, it's a lot more as far as like obtaining that, because I got the chance to actually take a picture with Mamamoo at
Right.
KCON, because
Uh-huh.
they were performing there. Not all
Okay.
the members were there, but
This is how
one
long
of my-
ago? 2008?
2019.
So they've been around for a
So-
while. I thought
Well,
they
they've
were
been
like
around a lot longer than that, and I
Uh-huh.
didn't start getting into them until like probably 2017, 18, maybe even 19.
Okay, so they were before that.
Yes,
Huh.
they were even a lot.
I thought they were really, really recent, like 2 years, 1
So
year.
they weren't very big back then, because the music that they were putting out wasn't really catering to the Korean people. It wasn't cutesy. It was more like sexy-ish kind of thing. But because of like how diverse they kind of were, they were like, well, you're this and you're that, and you don't fit what's the standards of what an idol should look like,
Yeah,
act like, dress like, eat, stuff like that.
Right.
So they just weren't popular in that aspect until like they started getting popular, not just recently, but like around that time. Like
so, but the
2017.
thing is, they changed their musical style.
No,
No. It just
I
took
guess
time
I
to
think
catch
because
on.
like maybe the because like through years they'll change. Most groups will change like their music to fit
Right.
like what the theme is, or like what grabs the attention of at least the Korean people, because they're from Korea, so you want to like
Right.
get the attention of them.
But it-
Or they go
Is it
slow
the
mo-
Koreans people? I'd argue that the
Yeah.
Korean fans not that.
They try to cater to them specifically. If they get the attention from, I believe, like outside of that, then it's like I would feel a bonus. But because they're again from Korea,
Really?
and you want to make money there too. Because if you don't make money there, how are you going to make money out there?
No, but I feel like K-pop is so big now that because well,
Back then,
this
back
is back
then.
then in 2000. Like I remember there would be new groups coming out like every 3 months. Like I used to go to the Korean grocery store and the Korean lady would tape. She had like a satellite, so she would tape the weekly music shows.
Yeah.
Like Inkigayo or Music Bank or something.
Yeah.
And I would just go rent the VHS tapes and go home and watch them.
That's
And every 3 months there was some new group, and they had a crowd full of screaming girls. They were all like, "Oh my god! Like this is the best group ever!" And I was like, "This group is not even going to be around in like 3 months."
Maybe.
But I feel like there's always, I don't even know, maybe they plant them in the audience or something, but I feel like there's always going to be some new group coming out, and they just come and they debut and then they disappear. Like one of the interesting things for me right now is like how the longevity of like something like the New Jeans, is that what they're called?
Yeah. So
Are they going to be around? Like,
I mean, they're doing well now, and the music that I've been putting out again has been getting
Right.
traction for like,
right?
because you get the one hit track or whatever it's called. What's the phrase?
Wonder.
Yeah, one hit wonder, and they're like, all right.
Yeah.
There's a few of those that ended up like disbanding like
Yeah,
after
yeah.
a few months, like you
Sure.
said. But with like New Jeans, Lesser Femme, I think that's how you pronounce it, and all those other ones, they're putting out music, and
Yeah.
they're still continuing to put out music that they're still getting that traction, and they're still getting even more fans
Sure.
to stand them too.
Sure.
So, but
But if that's the machine, though, right? The machine is to roll that
But-
popularity into getting other new things.
yes.
So my theory. Oh, good.
So there's another thing where it's like, you know TXT by any chance
Who?
tomorrow? TXT tomorrow by
TXD.
TXT
TXT.
tomorrow by Together.
No.
So they're under Big Hit. So
Are they?
whenever they were forming,
Uh-huh.
and you know how Big Hit, BTS is under Big Hit.
Yes.
So whenever they were forming, a lot of people were like, oh, these people are going to get overshadowed by BTS and stuff. And honestly, they're doing pretty well themselves.
Sure.
They're doing very well themselves.
But they're not going to be the next BTS.
I mean, who knows? They could probably be the next BTS. I mean, the standard's not just to be BTS, but to either be your own
Yes.
like group, your own persona, and then be either just as good or even trying to surpass that too.
Right.
That's what everyone's like trying to go
Sure,
for, kind of
sure.
thing. So that there's like certain aspects of that because I
Uh-huh.
think for like Liz Femme, Big Hit ended up doing Hype, that other company, which I believe also certain if not all BTS members are also a part of that. They have like some sort of stock.
Yeah.
Some sort of business. I don't know about business over there, but they're somewhat kind of like overlooking some of that too. I would believe so, but maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? But because for Big Hit for the longest time, they used to have a girl group, but then they like screwed up so badly that Big Hit was like, no more girl groups. We're just gonna focus on boy groups. And yes, they did horrible things, and it's like now it was a shit show. Sorry, not supposed to curse, but
No,
it was horrible what they did.
It was bad management, you're saying.
No, it wasn't even management.
Okay.
So it was just the girls doing like trying to. So some of the members were trying to blackmail, I think, an actor, and then it ended up biting them in the butt. And
Okay,
they're like,
yeah.
all right, we're getting rid of y'all, and no more girl groups, no more this and that. So then they, I guess, put all of their efforts, all of their energy on BTS to make it work. And at some point, they were gonna disband too.
Yeah.
After I think, I don't know, it was like their first like album that they put out.
Yeah.
Because I guess it just wasn't appealing to
Yeah.
people. But after like, I think it might have been, what was the song? I don't know, it was Blood, Sweat, and Tears, or it could be Fire, or I don't think it was. I don't know. One of those like songs is when they ended up taking off and becoming big. And then from there, I guess it opened other opportunities to have another boy group, which ended up being TXT, and then making another company with Big Hit, and then now including girls for girl groups and stuff. But yeah, it's just a lot of like, I guess, trees being planted and like roots kind of thing. But
I kind of want to go back to the appeal towards Koreans.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like there are a lot of Koreans that don't like K-pop groups if they don't have
Mhm.
enough Koreans in them.
If they don't have enough Koreans in them. Ah.
And so I think you said you wanted to ask him about a group that's a K-pop
oh yeah,
group, but not
so it was formed in Korea, but I think they're like a Japanese something. It's I don't know if the extraordinary or no extraordinary.
They're actually Japanese.
That's what I don't know because I don't think they're all Japanese. But
I know there's been some Japanese members running
oh
through
yeah,
Korea now.
yeah.
You're talking about an actual like.
It's a girl group.
But they're doing the Korean thing, but they're all Japanese. Or
So
what?
it's in English. It's all English music here.
Oh, English is it in English.
So XG is a Japanese girl group based in South Korea. XG.
G.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So the group was formed by XGALX, so a subsidiary of AVEX. Yeah. So it's composed of 7 members.
Avex.
Yeah.
So Avex, you know, is like the huge, mega huge, like Japanese music like label,
Yeah.
and like Avex will even like.
So is AVEX equivalent to like an SM, like entertainment kind of thing? Or
Yeah, I
was
mean,
gonna ask you about the
probably
entertainment.
bigger.
Bigger?
Well, Avex does everybody.
Okay.
It's so big, and then like they've even gotten to a point where they're like there's this little idol group comes out, right? Like, oh, we're under this new label. It's they support us, and everyone's like, oh yeah, we're going to support them because they're under this tiny little label. But the tiny little label is actually owned by Avex anyways. They're just created a little shell company so that people, because eventually when you get to a certain size, everyone's just gonna be like, oh, they're Avex. I don't want to deal with, you know, like it's just looked as, you know.
So I mean, is there like stigma behind Avex?
I mean, because the ultimately, like when you get to a certain size, you just it's a thing about quality control, right?
Okay.
Like if you're like go back to like restaurant. If I'm a restaurant and I have one restaurant and I'm there all the time, I can make sure that all the food is a certain quality and everything, right? But when you have like 50 stores and you have to get 50 managers, like everybody's going to kind of do different things. You know, it's super hard. You have to spend so much time, you know, like going to every store. And I feel like, I mean, with any idol group, any music group, when you get to a certain size, like when, you know, you could probably do high touches with Twice when they had like very few fans, and you could just hire a couple security guards.
I feel like they were still pretty popular in Korea, and then they were getting popular in the U.S., but
like now it's to a point where it's not even possible.
It's huge.
There's no way you couldn't, like,
they get stalkers now.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been having stalkers for a bit, but there was this one that was banned, I think, from coming to Korea because he would follow Nayeon, which I think that's how you pronounce it. He would book plane tickets where they're gonna be, the plane that they were gonna be. And again, this was back then probably when they weren't like in first class or something. They were like, you know, getting the economy ones or something, and people were this specific person was just
trying to book the
pretty much. We don't even know. It's supposed to be private information. You're not supposed to know, but again, people find ways.
Yeah, sure.
People find ways to like
money. I mean, if you have the money, you can get whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know? But you said what about this English group? What about it?
So I don't know if at first they I don't think they were gonna make it big or anything. They're doing pretty good as of now, but because like they were like a Japanese group that was made in South Korea, and I know there's gonna be stigma behind that too, because a lot of the idol groups, especially for SM, whenever they get people from China, Thailand, or any other countries like that, they don't get like good rep.
Right.
Like for EXO.
From the Korean.
From the Korean, yes.
Yeah.
Because for EXO, they had Chinese members in there, and then all of them are gone with the exception of one. Yeah.
Oh,
one of them is Dell because I don't even want to get into it, but
really,
yeah,
I like EXO too.
EXO was really good back then, and then they dropped down to 9, and then one of them just kind of like was still part of EXO.
Oh, that's why they had a Chinese like.
They covered up basically all of their Chinese members with the exception of one because he was so popular. In Korea, China, even I believe he was also popular here in the US. So it's
bad to have other. Do you want a pure?
Usually,
you don't want those filthy mudbloods in the groups.
Pretty much. But I feel like it's been getting better with that now.
You don't want outside groups.
No. I'm fine with it.
But Koreans don't.
Yeah, usually. Again, I don't want to speak for all Koreans.
But you know why they put the other members in, right?
Why?
Because they're trying to diversify and like. Because they want Chinese people to buy the albums too, right?
It just depends. I mean, yeah, because like
that's why like Suri is in.
But I mean, then you also get like some. I don't know if with the exception of Wavy, which is under NCT and SM, they do I think Chinese albums, and then you got certain for SM they have most of the members Chinese maybe, but I think for sure. Definitely Japanese, and obviously Korean if they're from outside, and then I believe some even in English too, but I don't think that was a priority, at least back then. But they would put out Japanese albums, again, to cater to outside.
Because they want to sell them, they try to sell as much as they can.
Yeah.
And JYP's the one who like really, really started doing that, right? When he was doing like Miss A. Yeah. What was... Yeah, I mean, it's understandable. Oh, so I guess then I have a question. Like let's say a group gets popular, right?
Okay.
You, as a fan, you think their success? How much of it is the actual like talent of the members or the members themselves? Like what percentage? Like I guess I'm trying to find a way to like verbalize this question. Like let's say the success is based 100%. Like there's a possibility of 100% of what causes the success, right? like how much of it is the fact that like BTS has those members, or you think like, oh, I take 7 other guys, put them into BTS, and it would have been the same thing. Because
If it was early on before they got popular, that's
Right.
one thing.
Oh,
But
yeah,
if they're
yeah,
already taken off
Sure,
and being
sure.
popular and you're adding more people,
Yeah.
then that just creates a lot of
Because
tension.
this happens in the idol industry too, where people think like certain members, like, oh my god, that I see this all the time with like Twice or like
Mhm.
Black. Oh my god, those members, they're such good friends. Oh, they get along so well. They make it sound like they're irreplaceable, and
Yeah.
they are really
They probably
irreplaceable
are now. Yeah.
But
I don't know if way back then.
I
they
think,
didn't kinda stop,
but as bad as this is gonna sound, the members are pretty. I think they're pretty replaceable. Like, or not now, but I'm saying like there has to be a Blackpink. There's 4 members, right?
Mhm.
There has to be 4 other members that are equally as talented or attractive or like body type or look or whatever.
Well, they were originally going to have 5, and then they dropped one of them, and then that person ended up being in another group instead.
Gianna.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. That's the
really.
good.
She's like Jisoo.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean,
But yeah.
I don't know. What am I trying to? I don't know. I feel like I meet a lot of people who think like it comes off as they think like their member is like 100% like the reason
carrying the group or something like.
Yeah, it's like, well, if they didn't have this member, the group wouldn't be
Yeah.
the same. And I think that is true to a certain extent, like at a point, but.
I mean, there are videos out there that I've seen, especially with bigger groups. I mean, with smaller groups like Blackpink, it'll be a lot difficult. But with bigger groups like Twice,
Yeah.
definitely NCT,
Yeah.
they'll start nitpicking like certain members, and it's again based on opinion.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever factual with
No,
stuff
sure.
like that. So they'll start, saying like as far as dance move, I rank this person from the bottom to top, and that's what they do. And then again with vocals, visuals, or stage presence. So, and you'll know for some of the groups like which ones cater to most people. Like Nayeon being, despite that she's not the leader, but she caters to a lot of people within Korea and even outside of Korea.
Sure.
And
she's very very Korean look. Yeah.
Yes. So and then, but being the leader, which is her name is slipping my mind right now.
I remember the first time I saw Twice. I saw a music video, and I was like, I like this member, and this member. Those are the 3 prettiest members. And my friend was like, you just picked all the Japanese members.
Yeah, Momo is one of my favorites. She's a Japanese. They'll have the Japanese line, which I think Twice was the first group to have a Japanese line.
Yeah.
Compared to other like groups and stuff.
Yeah.
And same thing. You'll have stuff like that because then you have the Maknae line, which is like the 3 youngest ones, or the group of the youngest ones.
Maknae? What's a Maknae?
The youngest. That refers to the youngest one of the group.
Line?
So Maknae, the word itself
Uh-huh.
refers to like the youngest member of the group. So like for BTS, that's Jungkook.
But when you say line, you mean a singing line, or you mean like the actual literal line of members standing on the stage?
The line of members.
Okay, so you're talking about when you say a line of Japanese, you're talking about.
Yeah, those. So like.
Okay.
So yeah, for Twice is Momo, and their other 2 names are blanking out right now. Mina, yes, and then who's the 3rd one?
Sona.
Yes. Again, I'm not very familiar with a lot of their names.
No.
Like I know them, but it's like.
No, yeah. I mean, that's.
It's my mind.
That's what happens in the. That's why like if you go watch any of the Japanese like idol groups, they all have nicknames.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because it makes it easy.
Nicknames or stage names, or is that too?
No, they literally have just like, oh, call me, what's it called, Chewy-chan or whatever, and then everyone's like, yeah, Chewy-chan. Okay. Because they just want to make it easier for. This is also why if you look at a lot of those like idol groups, it's all color coded. It's like, oh, the red member is in the middle, she's the center, and then all the other ones are like blue and green, and then you gravitate whatever color. Like if you look at Stardust, all the Stardust groups are color coded, like, and they usually follow like. The red is always the leader. It's like Sentai. If you ever watch like Power Ranger stuff, like the red ones was always the leader. So they have it set up to make it easy for people to just.
But doesn't that create problems or anything like favoritism
for the fans?
For the fans when it's color coded like that.
No, because
we don't see that in Korean. That's
because the thing about it, like one thing about I don't know if it's strictly to idols, but like the fans are pretty like understanding like. This is the most popular member. She's like either the prettiest or she's the one that everyone likes the most. and she gets like center position, and then like everybody just likes the idol they like. So like they're not like, oh well, I want my like. It's almost like they put those members in a box, and arguably it's probably kind of bad sometimes because they're always in that box and they're not able to be like somewhere else. And I've seen other like some idols where they're in one group and they're like, oh, I'm not the center, and then they'll leave and they'll go to, and then they'll end up in another group where they are the center. So, yeah, but
Interesting.
yeah, but it's funny. It's really interesting to see when idols jump around. Like, there's a couple idols I follow right now. They've been in like 5 or 6 groups,
Oh, wow.
and like every time they leave, they're like, "Oh, I hate to be leaving," and I can't believe I'm so sad. And then like, "Oh, okay, we're never gonna see her again." And then like
Next thing you
3
know-
months later,
yeah.
she's like, "Hey, I'm in this group now, and my name is so and so."
Wow.
And you're like, "What? Really? I thought you were."
Does that create problems, especially when they've been in multiple groups for so
No, well, the thing is, I think fans are pretty blind. They're just like, I like this girl. I like this girl. I'm gonna support her and I'll follow her around.
Okay.
And like, I think the big thing is like, okay, so the dating thing. I've talked to people about the dating thing before, right? Because some people will freak out and like.
Oh yeah.
So this is how it was explained to me. I never understood it because. So I had a friend. He went and followed this one group around, spent like $10,000 on like a bus tour. Like he got on the bus, and it's not like it's a bus full of people, and she's sitting in the front. And she's like talking to everybody, and yay! And then at the end of the tour, she sits down, and then people get ushered in, and you sit around her, and you take a picture. You don't get to pick where your seat is. It's not like a one seat. It's like a group. So if you're lucky, you're sitting right next to her. If you're unlucky, you're like on the corner, and like 10 other guys are all like,
Yeah.
So he spent like he was like, I spent $10,000, and I talked to him, and I was like, okay, so this member you like a lot, like you find out she has a boyfriend tomorrow, and you're upset. She's like, no, I want the best for her. If she finds a guy that she likes, great. I hope she picks the right good guy. I'll be happy for her. All right, great. And I was like, okay, cool. So then like why, following all this stuff, why would you get upset? Like, why do people get upset if you find out she has a boyfriend, right?
Well, because of like, for him, again, it's personal preference, opinions and stuff. For him, he already has a mentality like, hopefully they do find someone, I guess. Or if they do find someone, great. I'm still gonna support you. Or hopefully they would still support them. And hope for the best. Hopefully it lasts long. Just wish them well, kind of thing.
Right.
But for other people, it's like, they'll think the opposite. It's like, well, I spend so much money for you to like pay attention to me, selfish me kind of thing. And it's like, well, now you're off, giving someone else, despite that, they don't only give it to one person. They have all these other fans to share their love kind of thing. But now when like they'll think like, okay, now this person really has someone, it's like a threat, I'm assuming, to them. So
it's funny because when he talked to me about it, it was more of like, he said it was like more of a mutual agreement, right?
Yes.
So like you're gonna be an idol, you're gonna like follow your dream, you're gonna like put all, like it's like you're studying, right? You're putting all your effort into doing this, and I'm gonna put all my effort into supporting you. So like I'm gonna put all my money into it, I'm gonna put all my time, and so the trade-off is I put all my time into this, you put all your time into this.
Yes.
And so the thing about where he said that like fans get upset is that if you're dating someone else, then it's like you're not putting all your time into this.
Exactly.
You're putting your time into something else.
Well, you're dividing your time.
Yeah, and he said it's fine. If you want to go quit being an idol, you want to go be in a relationship, fine. But if you're playing both sides, like you're doing the relationships thing and doing the idol thing and expecting me to support you, then that's where he's like, that's where I have a problem. That's why he was okay with the dating ban. It's like, you're not allowed to date. You should focus on this, and if you don't want to do this anymore, go ahead. Go get married. I'll support you. You can be happy, but I'm not going to be buying your stuff.
Yeah, which is what it comes down to for a lot of people. One member from EXO, being Chen, he got married and already has 2 kids with his wife, and so since the announcement of his marriage and stuff, like a lot of people started ripping his posters, photo cards, burning them.
Why?
I was like, they get the money, like you're just wasting it. Like what is that? How does that work? Like no, like if anything, trade it off or something, get something out of it, but just ripping it like.
Well, that's something people. This is something that's happening like in American culture right now. It's like people can't dissociate. No, I'm not sure where I lie on this, but they have a hard time disassociating, like you can't listen to Big Bang music anymore, right? Because you have that one member who's doing whatever.
Yeah.
So can you not listen to songs anymore? Because for me, I still
depends on the person.
Well, that's the thing. I was still listening to AOA songs. I was running.
I know too.
I'm like, okay, it's like still a good song, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of disassociate with the management or the member or whatever happened.
I mean,
or it was fine when they did it back then, and then now they're
who
different
knows if
people.
it was fine because everything happened probably around that era, that time, and so again, we probably only associate it for the recent stuff.
Yeah.
But some people because this happened, they'll probably associate it with everything.
Right.
I'm like, if it's a bop, it's a bop.
No,
Unless it's something really extreme where it's like.
But this is where people have, when you're talking about people ripping stuff up.
Yeah.
It's like they don't know how to disassociate.
They don't.
Separate the art from the artist.
Yeah,
Yes.
art from the artist, and then also the thing about it is the thing that drives me crazy is that like the people who not into this stuff, like let's say they're not into K-pop or they're not into idols, but they're into like sports, and then the guy leaves the sports team and goes to the and then burning the jerseys, and then burning down. That's fine, right? But like all of a sudden idol fans are doing it. They're like, oh, these people are crazy. They're insane. It's like, dude, all of us have a little bit of that in us.
Yeah.
And certain people learn how to deal with it, and some people don't learn how to deal with it, and that's how they like show their disapproval. They just want other people to know that they're unhappy. That's basically
Pretty much,
comes down to it,
yeah.
right?
I'm like, that's not gonna change. They're not gonna get divorced. They're not gonna, everything's already said and done. You're gonna support them the way they are, and then it also depends on the company too, because I think for SM they don't have that no dating ban kind of thing.
Yeah.
For other groups they do, but for them they're like no, like whatever. They prefer if they were like within the company, because with Kai and Crystal from FX, Kai being from EXO, Crystal from FX, like everyone was like okay with that.
Oh, Crystal from FX. You're talking about the she's Chinese or Taiwanese or something. She had blonde hair. She was the one who was.
I think
she's the boy kind of boyish member, right?
No, that's Amber.
Oh, that's Amber. Okay.
Yeah, Amber's I think from either here in the US or Canada, one of those two.
Canada, that sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds, maybe I'm wrong, but that sounds right.
I mean, I'm probably wrong too. But I'm talking about like, what was I talking about?
SM.
Yes, SM. So they were okay with if it was like within like the member, or not the members, but within the company.
Right.
But then again, there was like certain relationships. There was one with I think it was Baekhyun and Taeyeon from Baekhyun from EXO again, and then Taeyeon. Hopefully, I'm saying that right, because you got Taeyeon and then Taeyong from NCT. Like, don't get me started with the language because I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. But Taeyeon from Girls' Generation, they were in a relationship, but a lot of people were like, "What?" But I don't know if it was because of Baekhyun or if it was because of Taeyeon. Because Taeyeon, I believe, was pretty popular in Girls' Generation, and I don't know if because of her side being so popular, especially with the males, it kind of made the situation or the relationship like really like hard to maintain, and so they had to like break it off fairly quickly too.
Sure.
And I myself didn't know that until like someone brought it up, and I was like, wait, what, really? So I started looking it up and see if they like, is this true? Like, what happened? But it's just crazy fans. They call them sasaengs.
But you know the industry, they kind of want the craziness, right? They want the craziness because that's what people get drawn to.
They just want people to support them and again spend money on them. But like that does come with like the craziness too.
Yeah.
And that
could
help, but that also could like
any publicity is good publicity. That's usually what they think.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was into HOT, they were selling DNA necklaces.
Oh.
So there was a necklace and then a little capsule, and it supposedly had you buy your members, and it had their DNA in it. Like I don't know if it was a piece of their hair or like a drop of their blood. But they were selling DNA necklaces, and I remember like I was like, man, I kind of want one of those. But it like they could get away with that because it was small, or they were just trying to get as many sales as possible.
I think they were trying to get sales.
That I mean, I don't know if it's acceptable now, but if they were selling that stuff now, you don't think people would be lying? All you gotta do is shave one of the members' heads, blend up the hair, put it in. You sell 1 million of those. You're telling me who's the member you like in BTS?
J-Hope.
Okay, J-Hope. You're telling me there's a DNA necklace. You're not buying it. No?
That's very like cultish and.
Why? It's fun.
No,
It's
not.
fun, dude. I would almost be
horrible.
upset at you if you didn't buy one. Like, what kind of fan are you? You're not gonna wear it? No?
No, because it's like
Why?
you're harming the idol now at that point.
No, well,
You are
it
harming
depends
the
on
idol.
how aware
It's
of
gonna
it
affect
they are.
mentally probably too.
Why?
Because now you're just taking a part of them instead of like it's like you're not accepting their art anymore. Now you're getting a part of the idol, which is like I guess good for some people, but gosh, that is horrible. That's
Really?
just, to me, that would just seem.
I would
horrible.
think it's funny. I think stuff like that is funny if for the people who are like, yeah, that's pretty funny.
If it's something as simple like sweat on something like
Sweat on a
I
rag
would
is
get that,
okay.
but like blood,
A
like
piece
hair,
of hair in a necklace is not okay.
unless they're getting a haircut, then maybe. But
Yeah,
blood is
that's what I'm saying. It's just like the next time they get a haircut, just sweep up some of those. Just sweep up some of the.
Something that's like, that if it's something that they're okay with, I'm assuming they're not, if they're not okay with, but now you're going to be forcing it onto them, like, no.
But I don't even think, for guys, I don't even think that's a forcing, right? I don't think so. If somebody was like, David, you want to put a bunch of necklaces out? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah. What's the big deal? For guys, I don't think it's, maybe for girls it's different.
It just depends, because you know how there's like that sort of aspect of like girls from like, who do like their online videos and stuff, and you got those fans too.
Yeah,
it's almost kind of similar to like K-pop. And they're like, here's my bath.
I think, but I think guys are, guys definitely
and
have
I'm like,
less to lose.
no.
But bathwater, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
the idea that drank it.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I mean that's kind of gross, but I mean.
But you would do.
But I
There's
think
a
there's a
line
certain
that
amount.
shouldn't be crossed.
What
There's
depends
a line
on
that shouldn't be crossed.
Then
And I
you
feel like,
arguably, but I think, I've followed idol groups, certain idol groups that were just funny like that. Like there was this one idol group where the rule was they weren't allowed to touch fans, so like they would not shake your hand. I cannot touch you
what was the
personally.
reasoning behind that?
Because they're better than us. They're like you're below us.
Gosh, that's horrible.
So they wouldn't touch you with their hands,
I'm assuming that's like,
but they would step on your face.
what?
So that's like the whole thing was all the fans would go and just get like
Oh
they would
my
get
God.
foots to the face.
You know what? I think that'll like probably,
Yeah, no, and there
K-pop.
was this one guy who was so funny. Like I would go to the shows and he had this pink plastic like link chain, and he would like wrap it around his neck and go to the shows all the time. And he would like get his member to like strangle him in the chains and take pictures with him.
Oh my
And then we would all be rolling laughing because he was always just trying to do the like whatever next weirder
that's
thing.
that's kind of a thing also in like anime cons,
Yeah.
especially like in the cosplay
Yeah.
community, because you'll have like characters who have like that really like horrible kind of attitude or personalities, and they'll do stuff like that. So whenever they cosplay, they don't disassociate the person with the character. So when they see the cosplay, it's like, all right, step on me or strangle me
Like a
or
boa
like,
Hancock or something.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's just like, ugh.
Yeah, but it was for like amongst friends, we were like everybody. Because the good thing about these groups, when you have like 20, 30 people, they know everybody. They know everybody by name.
Yeah.
And so like, oh, hey, what's up, David? How are you doing? I'm like, yeah, I haven't seen you in like 2 years. Yeah, how are you? I had this one idol who I took a picture with her like during Halloween, and then I didn't see her for 2 years, and then like I went to go see her like 2 years later, and like as soon as she saw me like in line, she's like, oh, and I was like, what happened? What? And she ran off to the back, and she had her little binder, and she flipped the page. She's like, dude, I haven't seen you. Like, here's your picture
That
from
is
last time.
so
Because
cute.
they take it home and they draw all over it. Yeah, and it was like, yeah, and it's the same. It was the same group with the stepping on, but she was in a different group now,
Okay.
so she wasn't stepping on people anymore. But now she's still singing. She's still doing it. I saw her last time when I went to Japan.
I wonder if that's like their persona, is like their stage persona, or like
Sounds like a wrestling
personality.
thing or something.
Yeah,
Sounds like a wrestling.
It depends.
act or
Oh, gosh.
It really depends on the group,
Hmm.
and then they're all trying to like outdo each other. They're all
Yeah.
trying to like
Well, it's
do
competitive.
the So like
Competitive.
that's how it happens. Like they're just trying to make a name for themselves and be a little bit different, like sell a different product, and sometimes they cross a line and they end up selling bathwater, and then they're like, okay, people didn't really like that, so we'll go
Yeah.
do something else. What's wrong? Why are you laughing?
Just whole bathwater.
We used to have a joke. We used to have a joke on the podcast when we were doing it. They would always be like, "Yeah, Jessica Alba is great," and they're like, I would be like, oh no, I don't like Jessica Alba. Like, oh, you wouldn't drink her bathwater? And I'm like, no, I would not.
So that's a standard now. Would you drink their bathwater?
But part of that is funny, right? Like this goes back to the bullying, the whole like thing we were talking about for variety shows. There was an idol show where they would have everybody in the studio and they were filming in the studio, and then they would have a segment where they would get some weird guy. Like he was one of the staff.
Oh.
But he would go and they'd have a camera follow him in, and he'd be like, "Hey, look where I am," and the member's like, "Where is he?" And then he'd open the door and he was going into the not changing room, but like the room where they had all their stuff.
Like their lounge kind of?
Yeah, and so he's like, and then they'd be like, "No!" And he'd be like, "Oh, whose purse is this?" And one of the members was like, "Oh my God, that's my purse." And then he'd be like, "What's in here?" And he'd go through and like start reading through their like math books or like, and he'd be like, "Oh, there's a bottle of water here," and then the girls were all freaking out and stuff. But I mean, for me, I always thought that stuff was hilarious. But like, I had certain, especially female like fans, they'd be like, "Dude, that is fucking terrible. That's crossing line. You cannot do stuff like that." Though. But I thought it was funny because they just drink the bottle and then like whatever. It's not like they give it back or they drink it and they didn't tell her and they put it back in there and then later she drank it. He's doing it like the guy was a comedian and that's like was his shtick was to be the weird creepy guy.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel like that could only go for so long though.
What I mean, being entertaining?
That certain like skit or whatever they were trying to do, that certain part of entertainment. It's like the whole like canceling culture thing. When you do certain stuff that is like really bad or.
Oh, you mean he's getting canceled?
I mean, in like probably now, but I don't know how far along this would be, but. Maybe it's not.
I still find it hilarious to this day. I'll go back and watch this. Like that's some of the funniest stuff I've seen. But yeah, I mean, it's weird, man. They have some weird like weird prank shows in Japan.
Oh yeah, I know Japan is like basically just.
And it's just weird, man. The thing is, I wonder how much of it. Like part of it, I feel like maybe the girls are in on it too. It's possible, but who knows? Like what was it? Oh, that wasn't a Korean thing. But there was one where it was a prank show where like the girl, there was one member and the other members were going on a podcast with her, and then she was like, "Oh, can I see your phone?" And then she was like, "Oh yeah," and then whoops, and she drops it in like a bowl of soup. Oh. And that's the prank, but it was actually her real phone. It wasn't like a decoy phone or anything. Okay. And then or like she would just dunk it like this, and then the other member would be like, "Why did you do that?"
Interesting.
So I don't know. I don't know how they get away with it, especially coming from America. It's like. How do you can't, like we're we're so litigious. We're so litigious that you can't get away with it.
It depends, because I've seen like a series on Netflix where it's like magic. And there's a point where this guy was like, there's these balloons and they were like, apparently going to random people. I don't know if it was skit or not. It seemed like it wasn't a skit. So they were like, "Hey, can I borrow your phone?" They were like, "Yeah, sure." Like, kind of hesitant to hand it. He gets his balloons, wraps it up, and then it goes away. And then they were like, "What the hell did you just do?" And they get all angry and and next thing you know, he just pulls his shirt out and like their phone's like taped to his back or something with like a clear film where they open it. It's like, "This is my phone. Like, how did you like?" I was like, "Yeah, first of all, like how?" Yeah. That doesn't make sense, but yeah, it was like you could technically do that, but you also have to redeem yourself.
No, sure. No, but see, that's the thing. Like, I don't like those kind of prank things. I don't find funny. You remember that one we saw, right? There was one we were watching where this big buff guy was like washing his hair at the beach, and there was a guy hiding behind the wall. And every time he would wash his hair, he would just squeeze more, and then he was like, "Wah! Wah!" He's like freaking out because like the soap is like multiple.
But that's harmless.
No, but for me, I was like, you don't know that guy. It's terrible. I don't like prank stuff like that. But like pranking my friends or pranking like members of an idol group, hilarious to me. Absolutely, like go as far as you want, go crazy, and I'm totally fine with it for some reason. I don't know.
The same exact skit.
Yeah.
I'd
be dying laughing, dude. There was one New Year. They used to have this great segment on the New Year's where they would prank the whole. There would be one of the members would know, and everybody else wouldn't know. And so they had one year where, like, they had this father and daughter couple. And like, we own a bento shop, and we make New Year's bentos, by hand. And everyone was like, oh, that's so sweet, that's so great. And they're like, oh, okay, well, here we have a bento in the store that we made especially for you guys. Who wants to try it? All the members raise their hand, like, oh, I'll try it. And the member goes up to try it, and like the egg is like super salted, like salted beyond belief. And then so the member goes and eats it, and it's like the most disgusting. And they're like, oh, how is it? And she's like, delicious, delicious. And she like swallows it down, like tears are coming down her eyes.
Yeah.
But like nobody knows that the father and daughter like aren't even real father and daughter, just like two actors.
Yeah. It was like
absolutely hilarious. And at the end of the show, they're like, hey, how was the egg, by the way? And she was like, like it's hilarious. And I'm like, totally fine. I'm like, that's terrible that she had to eat that, but I'm like, I'm totally fine.
I've seen a few of those, I think, in like Korean.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
This partially like what they signed up for is like to be an entertainer, right?
Well, I mean, also like in the U.S., I know they've done like certain ones where they did I think Jimmy Fallon does one where he has the artist. He did one with Suga, and they had two.
I can't believe his name is Suga.
So
like actual.
No, it's not sugar.
But that's how you pronounce it.
Without the R, basically Suga. So I think the translation for that is I think the pointer for basketball because he's a huge like. Basketball.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes, I think it's like one of the positions.
But it's
for
not
basketball.
actually. My name is Sugar.
No. His name is Min Yoongi.
Yeah,
Yoongi,
okay.
yeah. But yeah, his stage name is Suga.
And you were saying, so Jimmy Fallon, sorry.
So he had him on the show, and they were doing like a don't do a reaction, or you're trying to like fool the audience. So I think for one of them it was like they did like spoons with salt and one with sugar. And obviously they had to like each take a spoon. One of them had the salt, one of them had the sugar.
It's like being boozled or whatever.
Pretty much,
yeah.
But you're trying to like let the audience know like, oh, I have the salt one or I have the sugar one kind of thing. So they would, although for this one Sugar didn't try because he just kind of tasted a little bit. And it's like, are you gonna do it? He was like, no. And everybody just started laughing. But there was this other one where they like took a shot of something, and one of them had water and the other one had like vinegar, I think. And then I think Suga ended up getting the water or getting the normal one, and then Jim Fallon ended up getting like the worst one, and then Jim Fallon had like a normal face, and Suga was like doing like a crazy face, and they were like, you got the bad one and he got the good one. He was like, nope, I was the one that got the good one, and like fooled everyone. And it was like that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like okay, but and then like the whole, I mean, when it comes to food, it's fine, it's okay.
I don't know. Drinking some vinegar doesn't sound very fine to me.
I mean, as long as it's not harmful.
Sounds terrible to me.
But so it's like an egg that's like super salty too.
Yeah. So I mean, we were talking about pranks and whether or not it's acceptable. Because but if you're an entertainer, then I'm like, well, it's part of the territory, right? You're there to entertain. Sometimes you got to do stuff that you're not. Like you don't particularly want to do. Like we were talking about eating like roaches today, right? Or like
there's a thing where they have the little tube. There was a roach in the middle. They were trying to blow it to the
other
other
side. That's like that's the most famous AKB. It wasn't even a roach. It was like a cicada.
Oh, okay.
But it looks basically like a roach.
It looked like a roach.
And there was have you never seen this one? The roach sumo where like there's two members and they're blowing on the heads and it flies in one of the members' mouth. They did it a second time, and the first time they did it, this is how I know how well I know this. They were blowing on it, right? And the heat from their breath was fogging up the thing.
Yep.
So the thing like got stuck and wouldn't go anywhere. If you look at the second iteration when they do that later, they actually cut a hole out of the top of the thing so they could get airflow in there. Yeah.
That's smart. So the thing that you do in Korea, they would have the little mystery box.
Yeah.
So and they'll put your hand in there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's would probably be the equivalent to a prank.
See, I want to do that. See, Idols have been doing that for a long time, but like I want to do one like the crazy one where you like put like a rattlesnake in there, and then just like like.
I think for me it's like food because with food you can never know. It's like you put like freaking
I've
soba
seen
noodles and it's all like they're probably worms.
The worst I've seen is probably like an octopus.
Oh, okay.
But maybe there was like deep beaked or whatever. because he was like a live octopus. He was moving around,
Oh.
like real, like
Yeah.
because everything else is pretty. Yeah, it's pretty tame.
My
It's just
favorite
like
one
a
is
frog
the
or-
hand. They'll have someone under the table and they'll
Yeah.
like, get the hand, and then they're like, "Oh my god, it touched me." But yeah, there's a few of those that I like to see every once in a while. I think the GOT7 ones are my favorite. But there's other ones there's other idols and K-pop groups that have done that, either in variety shows or like in just like their own channel kind of thing. But and then the most popular one, at least for variety shows, is I don't know, Running Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they do a
That-
bunch
that-
of stuff.
What's
there.
it called? What's it called was on there, right? What's his name? The guy from Turbo. He's a big buff guy.
Jungkook.
Yeah, Jungkook.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, he was in this group that I used to listen to.
Yes.
Right.
I think he still sings. I don't.
He probably still sings. He's always like super falsetto. But
But yes,
But yeah.
I
I remember he was in the group Turbo. Yeah.
But yeah, he's still in there. There's a few members that have like left since then, and have like fallen out since one of my favorite members had left. But there's still a few good ones there, and they've added other ones. So, but they've had like idols, and again they do like the what is it whenever you're there's a word for it. I'm blanking out again. You're given a mission. There we go. You have to do missions in certain parts, and some of them probably involve food. I know they had one where they were like split into groups, and they had like food involved. One of them had to like eat a cup of noodle. The other one had to eat like a whole ice cream bar. One of them had to eat a whole egg. And like after every like one, you had to like whistle. If you couldn't whistle, it's not gonna count. So one of them had to drink like a whole like small thing of like soda pop, and then the other one had to drink like water, and then obviously the last one to like whistle wins. But it was like interesting too. I think for that one they had it timed, so one group went first, and then the other group went after. But yeah, there's moments like that, I guess there, and then they'll also do it in other variety shows too. Weekly Idol was one of the big ones, but it kind of went downhill, and then they replaced the host, and I think it was a little better, but yeah.
So, generally, K-pop fans, they like the names of the groups. Because I hear names from all these groups all the time. Like someone's like, "Oh, I'm listening to whatever." I'm like, "What the hell? What kind of group is that?" And like the fan names are so, like the eyes one, yeah.
The
Like
fan names?
Yeah.
It
it's so
depends.
bad.
It depends.
Some's like a.
So BTS is Army.
Army, yeah, it's
Yes.
fine. I get it. They did that so many times. The only reason I have a problem with that is it's so obvious. Like we had, like when I used to do a video game podcast, everybody's fandom was like, "Oh, you're part of the whatever army, right?" Yeah. And I'm like, "All right, whatever." But that's fine. Marketing, it works, right? But some of these have the ones I've heard are like the what is it? Twices or the onces or whatever.
Yeah.
And the eyes ones are the whiz ones. Or I'm like, what is going on? Those are so bad. Blackpink's is the what?
Blinks.
Blinks. What? It's terrible, dude.
Sometimes the fans give their name themselves. And
Terrible
then,
names.
And then the idols are like, okay, I kind of like that. We'll go with that.
Some of I feel like they try so hard. Like what my friend was telling me about this group named Card.
Yeah.
K-A-R-D. And I was like, why are they Card? Because they're like playing card themes or something. And they're like, oh well, the K is because they have the king in there, and A is something like some angel, and the R is the Joker, but the joke R, and that's why there's the R. And I was like, what is going? Like, why? You're stretching so hard to make this name work. You always complain about this to me, like when I'm trying to like make something make too much sense, and I do that all the time. And I'm like, even I find these names like crazy.
Well, there's 17. Do you know 17?
No.
No?
It's a group name.
It's a group name.
Uh huh.
You want to know how many members there are? 13. 13 members.
Why?
And 17.
But they all start when they're
So
17.
each one has subgroups, and like there's like a whole like algorithm, like mathematical like that makes it 17. So you got 13 members.
Is it some sort of weird thing?
So you got 13 members, right? 13 members. And then you got 13 members, and then you got 3 subgroups, and then one group. 17.
That's 17.
Yeah, so you got,
plus
you got the
4.
performance, the dance, I don't know if that's in a performance, and then the vocals. There's like, and they have like songs under those subgroups or subunits, as I would say,
and their fans are called
carrots. Carrot.
What? Why?
They're like sick as
carrots, like the rings.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
CARA.
Yeah. CRA. Carrot.
I don't know, man.
G Idol is Neverland.
The fans are called Neverland. Neverlands, plural.
So,
Yeah.
Why? Why?
I'm-
Why, dude? It doesn't make any sense.
And I think Mamamoo is like moose, I think, or something like that. I can't remember.
Cows, just call them cows then.
No.
Why? You're a bunch of
Because
cows.
it's Mama Moo.
So what is Mama Moo is for? What?
What? The members?
They're all big.
No.
Like, that's so funny because we like in the idols. A lot of this stuff is like super literal. Oh, there's some really funny idol group names, but there was one where it was like, yeah, it was just a bunch. It was like a whole group. Everybody had like the hugest boobs. Like everybody was in the group. And I remember I was trying to be sly about it. This is like early on, so like remember I told you there's like a list of like 20 groups, and I was like, I don't know which. Is it this group? I don't know. And I just like I went up to, and there was a girl working the front counter, and I was like, hey, so do you know which group Jess was on? And she was like, which group was it? And I was like, I don't know. Like she was like, describe them to me. I was like, I mean, they were just on before this one other group. And she's like, were they like this? Were they like this? Did they have really big this? And I was like, maybe. I mean, I don't know. She's like, it was that group. It's this group right here. And I was like, okay, thanks. I'll go through. I'll go research it later when I go home.
It's like, hey, what group is this? Asking for a friend.
Yeah, but it was just like some of the So they have some really funny idol group names, but it's just they don't have band names, do they?
They don't have fandom names.
No, I don't think so. I know one group I followed very closely. They did. Like the girls, the group was called Baseball Girls, and everybody was like, "Oh, we're the Baseball Boys." Yeah,
Simple.
Yeah, simple. And like it was just and like everybody, they have so many funny themes. Like there's a lot of baseball's very popular
Yes,
in
it's
Japan.
very popular. Yeah,
So
a little bit in Korea too, though.
So there was this one group was like they all came out in like jerseys and stuff and I remember there was one song there was one song that's called We Are Umpire and like in the video they're all dressed as umpires like with the big huge like chest protector and the mask and they're just like dancing. I thought it was hilarious, but
there's something similar like that in K-pop from I think it's Korean pop. And they're like having like the helmets, the things, and they're like
pop,
it's called bar, I think. Yeah. Funny thing about that group,
one of the members did an interview. Did
you see the interview? Because I think she's a YouTuber.
Parts of it.
So she was explaining how I think Lady Gaga ended up finding out about them and really like their like aesthetic, their everything, and says like, hey, come to my concert and like perform for me or like, open for me or something like that.
Yeah.
So they went, and then they came back, and now their company was like, you owe us money, and like I think they ended up like disbanding and being in debt. That's how bad like contracts can be. That's how bad companies can be. Like. It's brutal. At least back then.
The problem is, like, a lot of these companies, I don't know how bad it is in Korea, but I've tried to work with some of the, like, little, smaller Japanese companies. And it sucks because, like, you have no... So here's the thing. If a Japanese... Like, let's say there's a little group, right? Not very big. They want to come to America. They want to perform. Ultimately, they want to make money, right? Yeah. They don't want to come here and not, like, lose money, right? So if they want to come here and make money, there's certain things that they have to do that will help them make money here versus like in Japan, because the way it works in Japan, they can just announce a show like 2 weeks before and like you have like the train systems and everything, like you don't have to book a flight or hotel. You can just you can literally show up at the train station, buy a ticket. It's like $150 and you're halfway across the country in like 5 hours.
Wow.
So it's super easy, but you can't do that here. So one of the big things that they always do wrong is they're like, oh, hey, by the way, we're going to be performing in Dallas in 3 weeks. And everybody's like, 3 weeks? Like, well, I don't even know if I can get off work. I don't know, like if I can afford the
A lot
flight.
of groups did that for the spring. They announced like all their the tours in the U.S.
Yeah.
and then you had like about a month.
No, it's literally like the
and
dreaded.
then like maybe 2 weeks or like 2 or 3 weeks before the concert, they'll drop tickets.
Yeah.
And then again, the whole thing about like
Yeah.
member pre-sale, the Ticketmaster pre-sale, and then the general sale for Suga's August D tour. They sold out in one of the pre-sales. They didn't even get to the general sale. That's how, like, and it's like a whole thing where it's like, why are y'all letting all these tickets out and then not have enough for the general sale kind of thing? Which Ticketmaster, like, does horribly on, but...
Yeah, tickets are even the worst now, dude. There's so many fees and, like...
Yep, it's like $100 worth of fees
terrible.
on its own. It's just like... It's horrible.
Yeah, man.
But yeah.
Yeah, so like if you want to bring this group here, there's like I feel like there's certain things like I might not have the exact answers, but I have an idea of what's going to work and what's not going to work, right?
As far as what?
Well, like you bring a group here, right? Like you have to give them enough notice, right?
The group notice or the people?
The fans,
Okay.
like especially in America, because so here's the thing: Japanese groups that want to come here perform, they're okay, kind of not making money because they want the prestige of like, hey, we performed in America.
Yeah.
Okay, so if they want to come here and perform America, they want to go to somewhere like LA or like New York.
Yeah.
They don't want to go to Houston, Texas, because that's like no one's going to know who that is. They want the prestige of like, hey, we performed in LA. Even if it doesn't sell out or even if they don't make a lot of money, at least they can say we performed in LA.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's great. But then there's also one of the things was like, a lot of times they piggyback onto like an anime convention, and that's great. You get more people from the anime convention.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like the question for me to them is like, how much of these anime fans are going to attach and become fans of the group to where they're going to spend money or like follow them later or buy a CD or something? Like almost nothing. It's just the guest for the. It's almost like a gimmick. It's like the guest for the con. They go see it because that's the live performance, and that's it. That's all they get out of it. They might post like, hey, I'm a fan of this group now, but they're not flying to Japan to go see this group again, you know. So like if they want to make money, it's like, well, how do they make money? And like in Japan, they'll like sell merchandise, but if you bring like a box worth of like T-shirts or CDs or something, and you bring it here, it's not worth it because all that stuff is heavy. You have to get it through customs. They'll stop if they see you bring a box of like 100 CDs, you know, and nobody even buy CDs here now.
I do. I mean,
well,
K-pop albums.
most people, fans will.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about like the average anime con going, they're gonna buy a CD and go home.
Is it just a CD compared to like how do the CDs?
No, I mean it's literally just a CD.
So there's
the
like
thing is,
no cards, no posters.
Well, there is that stuff in Japan. So in Japan right now, in Japan it's kind of like they do the handshake stuff in Japan. You can't sell handshakes. You're not allowed to sell handshakes.
Okay.
Because it's too borderline into like prostitution in Japan is illegal.
Oh, so you can't sell in Japan handshakes.
You can't sell handshakes.
Okay.
So how they get around it is, hey, if you buy this CD, we give you a handshake ticket with it. You get the handshake along with buying the CD. So people buy stacks of CDs because they want the handshakes. But the government, like, whatever... Yeah. Japan is really roundabout and stuff like that.
Same thing with, like, gambling.
Exactly.
The little gambling thing.
Parlor, yes. Like, the gambling parlors, you can't gamble for money, but you can gamble for prizes.
Yes.
And then right next door to the gambling parlor is the place where you trade in the prize to get the cash.
Exactly.
So, again, it's just an extra step. And, like, that's how humans are. They'll find a workaround, whatever rule you make.
Loopholes.
Yeah, so for me, like, if... I kind of wish I could be the guy who is like, because there's certain songs that I'll go to groups, and there's certain songs that they won't play because they're like, that's too much of an idol song. Like all you're gonna get is the crazy idol fans jumping around, and then we have certain songs that are like more mass market appeal, like standard pop fare, where other people will get into. That's the one we want to play because we want to get other people into it. So like for me, I'm like, I think what they should focus on. Americans want the crazy fans. They want to be like, oh my god, look at those guys, they're crazy, they're just jumping around. And then like they can join in, or they can kind of like, I've been in crowds where Americans like, oh my god. And like that's kind of how I've always gotten into groups. I'll see a bunch of Japanese fans just going crazy. I'm like, that looks like fun. I kind of want to like follow them. I'll get into it. But the thing is, the Japanese management that's bringing their groups here, they want to control everything. They want to be like, this is what I want to do. These are the songs I want to play. This is the song I want to push.
So it's not even the idols, basically the management.
Yeah, it's all management. And like for me, I want to tell the management, like, dude, if you come here and play these songs, like no one's gonna remember it. Like.
And what kind of songs are they trying to push? Are they the idol groups, or are they the ones that are trying to mass market?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're again, they have different ideas of what like if it was up to me, there was one time that J-pop, there's a convention called J-pop Summit. They did it right. They did it perfectly because the group was here Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they performed Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, wow.
But they didn't perform like long shows.
Yeah.
There's like 5 songs, 3 songs.
Yeah.
And then so the first day they performed on a mini.
Did they do different songs for each day?
Well, see, that's the thing.
Okay.
If they did do different songs on the different days, which made it so that like you want the people to learn the song, right?
Yeah.
So that they know the song, they kind of know where the choreography is. You need the Japanese fans there because they'll kind of lead all the cheers. So then other people hear the cheers and they're like, oh, well, we're performing tomorrow. Oh, cool, I'm going to go tomorrow and I could
learn.
That's what they need. They need that successive like 3-day period where they can kind of learn the group, learn the members. The members are like, hey, I saw you yesterday. Thanks for coming. That's kind of like, for me, that's my theory of like how they should do it. But they don't do that. They just like show up for an anime convention. We perform once, and they don't even push it. Like in Japan, they'll push it. Like they'll show. Like there's idol groups who will be like, hey, we're performing on like Sunday. So they'll go to like a big show on Saturday and they'll just go outside and they'll hand out flyers at a big show. Be like, hey, you like this group? We're performing tomorrow at this. And they'll try to get people to go, but they don't do that here. Like if it was up to me, I would have the idols just like walk the anime convention hall and just hand out flyers. Be like, hey, you gonna come to the show tomorrow? And then you have, because it's all about that personal like interaction. If an idol comes to walking up to you at an anime convention and says, hey, you're gonna come see me tomorrow, right? Like they're gonna show up.
You also gotta be careful with like security and stuff.
But that's the thing. It's different.
That's what's different from Japan to here.
Exactly.
Which makes it really difficult.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
unless they have volunteers to do it for them.
Exactly.
That would probably be a lot easier. But then there's not that personal connection.
100%. And this is why like there's this translation because you can't just straight copy the Japanese formula here. So it's like, what can you change? And what can't you like? I'm not saying we need to send the idols out there on their own to go do this stuff, but there has to be some way where you can kind of recreate that experience. The thing is, management's not going to do that.
Yeah.
They're like in Japan, like you're not really. It's not like America where you're like rewarded for taking chances. Like everyone's just kind of like, well, let me just do what the boss said, because I won't get in trouble for that. You know. So I mean, that's one of the biggest problems why idols can't catch on here is because they're not willing to like cater the like whenever Japanese groups come here, they always speak Japanese. They have like a little bit of English and they're like, my name is blah blah blah, and that's it. Like whereas like Korean groups, like when Korean groups go to Japan, they all learn Japanese. They're all speaking Japanese. Like that's the level of like commitment. They're like, okay, we're gonna speak to them in Japanese, but Japanese people don't do it going other places. They can't, or they don't have the skill or whatever. I don't know. So.
That is interesting.
Yeah, so it's. I really wish I could break it. They're not going to hand the reins over to me.
No.
So.
But I mean, they should look into like probably hiring someone, especially from the U.S. That way they know like the culture and they're familiar with everything. But I mean, if they're not going to do, and then it goes to show like not saying what's the point, because you probably have those certain people that again can't go to Japan, but they've been following the group and whatnot. And it's me. Okay, so. I'll tell a story of it, but like it's just there's that like disconnect from like doing everything that they're trying to do in Japan, but it's a lot different culture here in the U.S. Probably a culture shock for them too, for the idols. Yeah. Because it's like, well, we want to go out and like bring people to our concert, but it's like no, this is the U.S. Anything could happen. Yeah. You need security. You need all this extra precautions because people are crazy out here. But yeah, so it's just a different thing. I think back in 2018, I went to KCON, and one of my favorite, they're not idols, they're I think like a Japanese rock, funk band called Bradio. They came and debuted in the US, and I miss them. And I keep like regretting it because I had many opportunities to go, but I didn't find out until like super late, and I was like, damn. But I'm always like beaten up about it. But hopefully, like whenever I plan to go to visit Japan, which is like next year, I'll see if they'll have like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'll figure it out and get some tickets and just go see them live over there.
Yeah.
It's like it didn't happen here, it has to happen over there then.
It's yeah, but it's way more easier now to get. You could go. You should go. Definitely.
I will. I plan to, but I just gotta figure out like how to get tickets. I can't read in Japanese.
To the show, it's easy. If you need somebody, I have like 5 friends living in Japan right now. I just be like, look, just take this person to the show. Yeah.
Help me.
It's great, man. Japan is super great, man. You have your passport now, right? So I'm telling you, man. There's like a handful of particular groups I'd be like, that's the perfect group. Some of them are gone now, man. It would have been great, but it's so fun. I took Cecile. I told you I took Cecile once, and like she was with like 4 other people from work, and they're like, "Why are we going this? What is this one? I don't know, man." And then they were like, "Why are you into this, David?" And I was like, "Just watch." And then we went to the show. It was just crazy. Everyone was jumping around everywhere, and then they're like, "Dude, I totally get it now." I'm like, "Yeah." It was the best, man. It's the best. I've brought so many people to shows.
I mean, I've seen videos too. Like, there's this one, I'm assuming like a super fan that was like right in front of their favorite idols, and they were like basically doing the choreography.
Yeah.
And it was like one of my favorite videos.
I know exactly which song it is.
And they're like dancing, and then the girl goes shy, and then she still had to sing. Yeah.
I know exactly the song. Everybody always sends me this stuff. It's like, hey, did you see this? I'm like, yeah,
such
thanks.
an old video, yes.
No, it's great. It's awesome. I love it when I remember when Baby Metal like caught on here. Travis Granger was like, hey, have you heard this group called Baby Metal? And I was like, yeah. It's funny too because oh man, I should say Baby Metal used to be in this group called they're all kind of chameleon, like they just want to be stars, so they just do like, it's not like, are they really fans of metal? I don't know, but they used to be in this group called Sakura Gakuen, and there was a poster in the big CD shop in Shibuya. Mm-hmm. Like you can see how they looked before the whole Baby Metal thing, and they're just like cute idols in like the outfits, and then suddenly their management switched them over, made them Baby Metal, and they just became this big thing. But like I still have a picture of that, and I was like, wow, they still have this poster up of them just being like regular girls. It's different.
That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, if you're going to Japan, just let me know. Like seriously, either I'll go or I have like a handful of friends will be like, yeah,
my friend is planning for November of next year, somewhere around that area. So we'll see if they'll be like having concerts by then.
Yeah, we're going when November this year. Do it.
My friend's
bring
going
the
November
kids.
this year, but yeah.
Bring the kids, man. You think Alana would get train sick like on the train? You know Alana.
I don't know. No.
She's so funny. She threw up in the car like 3 times yesterday, and I was like, "Are you okay?" She's like,
She's like, "I feel better now."
Yeah.
She had a migraine or something.
Yeah, it was really crazy. And then she was like sipping water. Like, she's the funniest, cutest kid. She's totally fine.
That's adorable.
Yeah, she just gets motion sickness or like the trains. Oh man. Have you seen those ones with the trains all super packed? Everybody who's never been to Japan before always feels uncomfortable about those.
Like, I mean, not only that, but I hear like, especially with like people that are coming to Japan, they have their big old luggages, but they're also going around rush hour, and it's like you're disturbing the Japanese, and the Japanese are kind of like not looking at you, or maybe they do. Yeah. They don't have an issue about like looking at you. They'll be like looking at you. And,
they'll give you the side eye.
Yeah. Or even the front.
It's fine though. It's great. I love this. One of my favorite things is just squeezing into a train.
Sorry, they sound like monkeys at one point. I was like, what the?
Anyways, any other things to talk about?
Do you have any other questions? Sorry. But that is interesting about the whole like the underground and then the ones and
the thing about it is
on the switch being 6 different groups.
It's weird because I've gone through different like stages of my fandom, and like again, it's one of those things where it's like I don't want to use BTS as an example, but like let's say Twice, because Twice is like going around right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like Twice is popular, or they're really really popular because they're the best. They're that good. Like they're better than G Idol, or is it just there's a certain amount of
They've
like.
been a lot longer than G Idol though,
But-
so
but
they've
I'm saying-
already had.
There's a certain amount of mass appeal. Like you get bigger, and it's like, hey, have you heard about this group? Oh no, you haven't. Oh, everyone's listened to them, and then people like get drawn into the gravity of the group, and they get bigger, like because that's the popular thing going on right now,
Well,
right?
yeah, exactly. Like for Twice, it's mostly cute, and
Right.
then for G Idol, it's like sexy and like dark-ish kind of thing, and
Right.
like it all depends on what it appeals. I guess around that time, if not even just in general for the Koreans.
Right.
Because again, that's mostly their goal is just to appeal to them,
Right.
if anything. Because again, they're from Korea. If they're not able to go out, they have to appeal to them as best way that they can. And then again, if they make money, bank and stuff, then they can go out to perform. I mean, G Idol's doing their tour in the U.S. I think their second world tour, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, and so I've like asked friends, I'm like, are you gonna go? This and that. Like, as much as I want to go to Mamamoo, now that Shinee's back together, I'm like waiting and like hoping they come over here, because that one I will for sure go to. Shinee's like one of my favorites. One of the ones that like, and it's weird because back then when I was like first getting into it, I thought Shinee was like around the time where EXO and like BTS and them. No, they were around the time where Girls' Generation kind of like debuted. I think Girls' Generation debuted maybe a year before, and then 2008, that's when Shinee kind of became a thing. And then they have so many good bops from like then and now, and yeah, it's just one of those groups that you should stand. But with having used to having 5 members, now down to 4, it's like it's one of those instances where you're like, I still want to stand them. I know this happened, but you know, for anyone who doesn't know, one of the members ended up taking their life. So it was like back in 2017, 16.
But they're still under the same management, though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
I was gonna ask you guys what you thought about like size difference for idol groups.
Size, like amount of members.
Yeah, like preferences or.
If it works, it works.
Mhm.
And if they're like putting out really good content, at least for me, I don't really care about size. If it's like one of those things, I mean, it's gonna be difficult, at least for me, to like learn names and stuff. And I think that's the only downside. But some people, like, if they're like so into the group, they'll know every single thing or try to know every single thing about these groups. I think I remember at one point, whenever some of these groups were like touring in the U.S., certain YouTube content like channels and stuff would like post on Twitter like, who's the biggest fan of this group that's going to be in this area? We'll have you come in, meet the members, but we're also going to do a trivia and see how well you know this group. And I thought that was like so cool, because not only are you like, you know, seeing your members, even your bias right then and there, you're also kind of like, you know, shooting out you're like, you know, bringing out your knowledge.
No, but they did that with AKB too, and I always find that stuff kind of weird.
What?
Just like when you're memorizing like every detail of their life and stuff.
I mean, it's not every detail. It's most what.
It's trivia though, right? Like they're always.
Yes,
like,
but I'm not talking about like they're not talking about specific members. Mostly the group together. Like what year did they came to the U.S. for the first time? What was their first concert at what place? And if you know the venue name kind of thing. And then what year did they debut? And then how many members did they start with? You know, stuff like that that incorporates the whole group rather than the individual. So unless, you know, the individual is the one that's coming, but even then it's like I hardly hear about individuals. It's mostly just groups in general. Yeah. But no, yeah, but if it does come to like personal stuff, that's kind of weird. But I know people would know stuff personally about certain people.
Oh yeah, I've had I know this one guy, German guy, he was on like an AKB show doing the trivia stuff, and like, you know, these people memorize everything. It's like everybody's birthday, where blood type, all that stuff. And then he told me that they wiped the floor with the Japanese group. Like the Japanese fan, they just wiped the floor with them. But then in the aired version, they cut everything out and have the Japanese people look better. Because they can't have these foreigners beating the Japanese. But as far as like bigger group, I mean, the thing is, it's all about like sustainability, right? The bigger the group is, the more plane tickets you're gonna have to buy, or more.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think bigger groups are better. Like,
More entertaining or something.
it's like a buffet, right? It's like imagine if we were going to a restaurant and like they only serve spaghetti. Then some people are not gonna like spaghetti, right? That's why like AKB, I feel like that's why they had all those members, because out of all those members, you're gonna find somebody that you kind of like, or somebody like, oh, you just all it takes is like, oh, that member looks cute. Who's she? And then you can find, you know.
That's how it starts.
Then you find one, and you just maybe you get into the group, or with idols, you just follow that one member. That's enough, you know. So, like I always like bigger groups. It's like you can do more stuff with like the formations and the choreography and stuff too. So
that's what's good about bigger groups like that. But with smaller groups, I mean, you probably have to compensate on other stuff, especially if it's not like with like formations. But usually some end up getting backup dancers, and so they'll make up also for the lack of.
Yeah.
So
there's more like concert coverage too. Like with the they can pick, AKB used to be able to play these huge domes, and they just spread out like 40 members around, so everybody would have like one member like in front of, you know, because like in Blackpink, if they're performing Tokyo Dome the most, I mean, they're like right in the middle, and everyone's like looking, yeah. Then yeah, I mean it's, but yeah, I always wanted more members and more the bigger formations, and it's just crazy stuff you can do with. I was gonna say something else, but I just lost it. Yeah.
Makes me think of like synchronized swimming.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, I guess.
Yeah, it's crazy. You should see this. There's this one concert where like it was a school theme, and it was like, hey, we're gonna go to school. So the stage was set up like a high school, and then like the most popular member walks out, and it's like, oh, the birds are chirping and the school bells are ringing, and then like every single member is like 200 people just start walking by on stage going to school, and everyone's just like, what the heck? Yeah, it's like awesome like spectacle to see. And I was like, I don't think you can do this with any other group, just because they have that many members.
Wow.
But yeah.
So do you guys have maybe like a top 3 that you're listening to right now that you
Top 3
recommend
what?
to people?
Like groups or songs or?
Yeah.
Man.
I've been kind of like continuously listening to Kwasa, which is like a member from Mamamoo, especially from her recent album that came out last year, the year before. Honestly, it's been a while. My time frame is like off, but I'm a B is like one of my top favorites right now that I've been listening to from her. And then Shinee, there's a few that I'm like listening to here and there. Man, I just don't know which one to pick. There's all because I dive into the old ones, and then they're still putting out stuff, and they're still pretty good. So, but man, I just can't really pick with Shinee because you got Lucifer, you got Ring Ding Dong, you got Hello, View, and then some of the new songs, Evening, Heart Attack. I'm trying to. There's Atlantis, which is one of the ones that came out too. Don't Call Me, another popular one, like stuff like that. And then, well, J-Hope, whenever he came out with his Jack in the Box, I still listen to that too. Stop, More, Arson, Equal Sign, all those bops, man. I think that would probably be my top 3.
Okay. Why don't you get too many?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that most of the stuff I'm like when I'm trying to make this video, the best way for me to get into groups is just to go see them live. That's what I always try to do, because there's a certain amount of the performance aspect that I just like. Like you see someone perform, and it's like, oh yeah, cool. I like how she performs. She's a little bit. I tend to like very like flaily members. Like they're just like flailing all over the place, really high energy. So like it's always like that, and you can't really tell like from just like interviews and stuff. And then you see them on stage, you're like, dude, that girl's like losing her shit. That's awesome. But yeah, so like I've been going through old videos and watching these old groups. So like Fruit Zipper was supposed to come to Dallas last week. They didn't come, so I've been listening to a bunch of this stuff. Like I started listening to the Banana Monkeys because I was working on one of their old videos. Yeah. And then, I don't know who else I would say that is who I'm listening to right now. It's just whatever comes up. Maybe There's just so many groups.
What about songs?
Songs?
Top 3.
Top 3 of all time?
I mean,
Just
like that you could think of right now. That you
Oh,
probably
man.
recently or you come back to.
Okay, there's I'll like the best, like very, very, very idol songs. Like Equal Love. There's a group called Equal Love, and their first song was called Equal Love. That like whenever I have a friend who was really into idols, and then he's not into idols. He's married and has kids, and so he doesn't do that life anymore.
Oh.
But every time I send him a new song, I'm like, hey, dude, this is a new song I'm listening to, and he's always like, that's a very idol sounding song. Like it's not pop, it's very idly. So yeah. Like Equal Love, that.
I mean, can you not enjoy that anymore now that he's married with kids?
Well,
or?
he can't go to like live shows all the time.
I mean-
He was never into the taking the pictures with the members.
Yeah.
He wasn't into that. I remember there was one time he went to take pictures with the members, and immediately afterwards he was like, he threw them in the trash on the way home.
No.
He's like, I don't want like, and that's my, if I could have one supervillain moment, is to find those pictures again, because he showed them to me. We were at the event, he showed me it, and it was this one member, Kashima Meru. She was like 16 at the time, and she was wearing this cutoff thing where her belly was showing, and she was like this, and he was just like standing next to her, and like he doesn't look anything like Justin Bieber. But he goes, and every idol's like, "Oh my God, you look like Justin Bieber," because he's just some white dude.
Yeah.
So they're like, Justin Bieber, and he looks nothing like Justin Bieber at all.
Yeah.
But I remember this picture of him in his button-up shirt with her like this, and you know, she's like a little 16-year-old girl with her belly hanging out, and it would be the most damaging piece of evidence.
Oof.
Like he's just one of those guys who just was like. And if I could find that one, I have it in my mind. One day they're gonna have the technology to take the image out of your brain and put it on a piece of paper, and I'm waiting for that, because once I have that picture, it's game over, man. I can just embarrass him anytime.
No.
Like he's actually, he's on. If you look on my phone right now, he's actually my wallpaper on the phone.
Oh.
On this, you saw the guy on here. Yeah, because like I was in Japan last time with him, and
I was like, why do you have Justin Bieber in your
yeah, but he's on. Yeah, so I just take every opportunity to like kind of embarrass him as much as possible, and like, yeah, that's why he's on my phone, because like,
That's cute.
people ask me like, who's that on your phone? Like,
Justin Bieber, don't you know that?
but yeah, how are we getting into that?
You
Taking
said
pictures.
one.
top songs?
Yeah. Top
We say
3.
something about taking pictures with. No. I don't know. There's this one group called I don't know if they're still around. Shurize. They have this song called Jobani, but it's great. It's very like I'll play it for you. I'll play these songs for you on the car later, and you could. They're just like super idol sounding.
Do you guys have a specific song that got you into your genres? Like
What?
Like-
pop or
Oh man.
Okay, so I know mine. It's because of my friend. She got me into BTS and Taemin from Shinee. So Taemin was like doing solo and stuff. And they were both called Danger. So Danger by BTS and Danger
This
by
is two
Taemin.
separate songs. It's not
Yes.
a collaboration song.
No.
Oh, okay.
So it's separate. So Taemin doing his solo, it's called Danger, and then BTS doing their.
And then
Because they
there's
did a Japanese version for that song Danger for BTS.
Oh,
and
really?
So, mhm.
There's also an FX song called Danger. Right?
Oh yeah, they
Pinocchio.
use a lot of the names quite a lot. So,
Yeah.
but
The thing is that I actually got into. I know
And
which
EXO.
song got me into K-pop.
I think Overdose by EXO was another one.
They have that Wolf song.
Oh
The
god,
was it-
they're oh my god, that song.
Dude, I went to Korea Culture Festival in Houston, and there was a big old crowd of all these girls there, and they were just playing. Like there was a DJ playing the song. They were playing the whole song. They were just playing
Okay.
like enough
Oh god.
so everybody could do the whole. And
was
then
it like the random dance kind of?
yeah, I don't know what it's called,
Okay,
but they
yeah,
were all
that's
like,
right.
this song would come on, everyone would lose their
Yeah,
shit,
and
and then
they're
there's
like,
people
run.
doing the choreography, and I remember like they had the song, the da-da-da-da, oh, and everyone was going crazy to get the Wolf
That's
song.
awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I like this. Like I want to go to a con if it's like anime or K-pop and do like a panel because I have like a group that it's both K-pop and anime.
Yeah.
And so I try to like post both contents. I try to post like concerts. I try to post like conventions that are going on. And then I've been like eyeing some conventions to see what I could join next year, if I'm able to do panels in them. It's just, I know certain cons are very kind of like, we know who we want, but it's just something I'm looking forward to, or I'm wanting to plan, but.
That's cool. Sure, it'll be better than the lady that just presses play on the, on the album.
But yeah, I have like so many ideas that I want to do, that I want to put out.
That's how I feel. It's a lot of stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of stuff to talk about. Did I ever show you the first music video I saw, the first K-pop music video? Did you ever have that moment? So I was in college, and one of my best friends in high school, we were in the same college, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm listening to this." So here's the thing: he met some Korean girl, and like we had never met a Korean girl in real life before. It was in college, and then like he was kind of into this girl, and he was trying to get into her, and she was listening to K-pop, and so he gave it like. He came to me and was like, "Hey, watch this music video." And I remember my first thought was like, "Hey, why do you listen to Korean music? You can't understand this." And like that's like always everybody's argument. It's like, you don't understand language, so why? Yeah, you can't listen to this. And I remember that was my first initial reaction. And then he showed me the video. And the thing about it is I grew up like watching like Britney Spears or like Christina Aguilera, and I liked that stuff and Backstreet Boys, but it also kind of like didn't make sense to me, you know, because like everyone was like flipping off. Britney Spears like, I mean, I guess she's pretty, I guess, but it wasn't until I saw like this music video, and I was like, dude, these girls are like totally my type.
Which one was it?
Is Finkel? Is it Forever Love by Finkel? And they were just in white dresses, like swinging from a swing. It was like it's boring now. I can't go back and watch it now. And the song's not even that like not even my favorite Finkel song, but like going like. Yeah, that one song music video got me into like I just started listening to all the other Finkel stuff, and then like from there into other groups.
I was like me and Miss A. First video I saw was Breathe.
And
that's like a weird horn at the beginning. It's like all bright colored, and they're just like dancing like modeling and stuff. Like, what is this?
You get some of those in there once in a while.
That's how I was confused. Also, it's like. I initially see this weird video, they're acting like goofballs, but that draws me in, and then it's like, actually, the music's pretty good. Like, kind of want to dive into this more.
Catalina by Orange Caramel, bunch of sushi.
Damn, Orange Caramel.
I think they were a subgroup from After School or something. Or...
Sounds about right.
So
I never got into that group. How sexual do you think K-pop is?
Well, they've had instances where, like, even back then, probably not around 2000s, but like somewhere in between, where some songs did kind of get kind of sensual, sexual kind of thing, and they had to like cut it off, or
but all of the lyrics, or the thing that kind of bothers me a little bit about K-pop.
It's sensual over there, but not here. That's what.
But not here, exactly.
Exactly.
So, no, but that's the thing that kind of bothers me a little bit is because. I feel like K-pop gets away with being sexual, like somehow it gets away with it in America. Like it's like
yeah, they would get away with it here, just not over there, because they all want the idols to have like an innocent kind of persona or like aura of them.
Bro, there's a certain like standard that's acceptable over there.
Exactly.
That's not acceptable. But the thing is, I feel like I would get in a lot of arguments with like K-pop fans. Where they're like, oh, you like those idols because it's sexual, and maybe it's the age thing that they're uncomfortable with, but like
it could be the age thing.
But the K-pop stuff is pretty. Like I've seen stuff where I'm like, dude, that's just because like you're wearing short shorts and shaking your butt doesn't mean it's not like it's still pretty sexual. Like I've seen some of the Twice stuff where people are like, and they post it online and they're freaking out.
Mina, she in one of the concerts, she had like her own solo, and she started like twerking and
and like
crazy.
Momo was like pole dancing one of the
so was.
But I'm like, dude, that's that's not completely innocent either.
No, but it's a shock in Korea. I know that for Solar, she did her pole dancing song in one of the music bank or music shows,
Right.
and obviously they'll like panel it to the or to like other idols, and they're just kind of like, whoa, she just did that kind of thing. You'll see their eyes pop up, some of them jaw drop, or some of them kind of like whoa, and like you just get different reactions kind of thing. And then same thing with outfits. I know that there was this one, and it became a meme, where I think it was JYP and Kwasa, they were dancing to a song, and they were wearing like this outfit. I think she had like a leotard kind of thing, or like a one-piece like suit kind of thing, and then she had like these clear pants. And then same thing with JYP, he had like shorts, but then he had the clear pants. And then the way they had like dance towards the end and pose, and then they put the camera to Jackson, and it's just jaw drop, and it just became a meme from there, and it was just so funny. But it's like, it's just shocks like that happens over there. Obviously not over here, because we're just exposed to all kinds of things. But over there, it's not very common, or it's just not allowed, because again, they have like a sort of image that the idols have to like, you know, keep practically at all times kind of thing. So, which is why a lot of idols get a lot of shit whenever they don't keep that image. I know that Jennie gets a lot of shit from Blackpink, because she's like, her face, like, it's her like natural face, but for other people it's like, oh my god, she's like mean mugging me, or she's like, I don't know, her resting face is just like not appealing, I guess, but she's the ideal girl, at least from that era apparently, or something.
New Idol series on HBO that she was in that's causing controversy.
Yeah, that too.
She's got like, they made her do some crazy like sexual dance in there.
Oh really?
Yeah, guys are like all grinding up on her and everything.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I
think they were doing like a video or something, or they were doing some sort of dance.
Yeah.
What?
No, I mean, because you know, like there's, I think it's called The Bachelorette. I think that's the show. They have that here, right? I mean, it's one of those dating shows.
Are you talking about in Korea, the island show? Or
no, there's one. There was like there's some dating show here. I want to say it's The Bachelorette. So they have The Bachelorette here, and then they have the Japan version. Oh. And the Japanese version of The Bachelorette ends like all the season, all the dating, all this stuff happens.
Yeah.
The last like scene is like, okay, y'all picked each other. Let's share one kiss, and that's the end of the show. Wow. And it's like that's the one time they finally kiss is right at the end. Like when the show's and people were just like, dude, like by the first episode of The Bachelorette here, she's like made out with everybody, dude. So it's just a different, like, you know,
different culture.
Different culture. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Yeah, I think they were more mad at her management and all that stuff. Not really.
Who's they? Who?
Fandom.
The
Fandom?
Yeah.
But that's funny. The fans like they're okay.
It's like they know it's not her choice.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
She's like, they're like, oh, but she wanted to be in the series and kind of break into acting. And so
that's what. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I've seen twice. Like, there's so many videos people make of twice dancing on stage. Like, I'm just like, I don't understand how that's y'all are okay with that, but like other stuff you're not okay with. It just doesn't compute to me for me. Like that's what bothers you, but like Lisa on the floor, like humping the ground, that's totally fine.
That's totally fine.
Yeah. Like I was like, I like Lisa too, and I was like, what the hell? Like what? And they're like, oh, it's art, it's dancing. She doesn't dance for you, David. She dances for herself.
Same thing with like the K-pop males, like grinding and everything.
Yeah.
And like air and whatnot, and it's just like.
Like I'm fine with it. Just be honest about it and be like, look, yeah, that's pretty risque, but you know. And then they go like idols running on the beach in swimsuits. That's bad.
I mean, there's been some idols that used like swimsuits and stuff as part of like their one of their eras or something, like Sistar. I know for their Touch My Body, I think they were wearing some sort, and they were kind of exposing skin too, and were really short, whatever. But I thought it was cute. And then there was a controversy with Hyolyn, which is one of the members. She has like a tattoo here.
Yeah.
But because she was covering the scar that she had when she was younger and did some operation, but she has a tattoo, and obviously that's practically a no-no. I mean, they usually cover that up because even other idols who do have tattoos, they'll be like, here, we'll slap this like skin-colored like bandage or something. And sometimes they do a pretty good job, sometimes they don't. They even do that with like certain logos too. They'll like wear a shirt and they'll like tape over it. It's like, you're not sponsoring us. But yeah, a lot of stuff they don't want to. They're very strict about.
Yep.
You want to wrap
Send it a bit.
Or about
Yeah. We can,
Yeah.
what is it? It's 2 hours and
Yeah, that's
47 minutes or something.
most usually conversations go. Okay. Well, thanks for taking the time out.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this.
Yeah. There's a lot more stuff to talk about.
Oh
We'll
yeah,
probably
definitely. We
revisit
can
it
do a part
sometime.
2.
Yeah.
Coming? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but really, if y'all, you know, but if you're ever in Japan, you let me know. And
Yeah, I'm planning it with my friend and her husband, so that's something we're like I'm looking forward to because I've been wanting to go for years. I originally was supposed to go, I think 2020 or 2021 when I was like 25, and now I'm like, and I gotta wait.
So Mike said he showed you like the fruit zipper, like what they look like, and you're like, oh, that looks cute. They have nice outfits and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
So I mean,
I
that's the
looked
thing.
up.
You can find groups like that. Like there's tons of groups.
Mm-hmm.
They just appeal to all sorts of, you know, some of them are crazy, some of them like one is you get stepped on, and then other ones they're like they're just more like
You should just start sending me groups and I'll be like, okay, I'll go from
Is
there.
it like a music WhatsApp chat or something?
Yeah.
There's a little
Or just send me like some Spotify playlists and I'll just play that.
There's a lot. There's so many.
Yeah.
Just getting
I
there.
have my own list and I just keep adding to it. There's a bit of Japanese there, but because of animes and stuff. But.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
It was nice doing this.